How's it going, everybody? The Waker here. So, yes, wouldn't you believe it, but another season, another supercut as it just so happens. And not only did this season last significantly shorter than last time, both in terms of actual duration as well as the overall duration of it in terms of just how far spread it actually was. But of course it was also, probably at least in my opinion, just as entertaining as the first season. Now of course, while the second season didn't exactly contain nearly as many twists and turns and insane heated debates and blood sports as the first season actually did, I still believe that it at least holds some merit in terms of, well, information as well as just genuine hilarity. Because, well, these goofballs are probably some of the most hilarious individuals I think I've ever actually, had the displeasure of actually dealing with. Despite how annoying and persistent they were, it is always hilarious to see them run away with their tails tucked between their legs when they realize that they aren't going to get their way. But of course, in order to make up for a lot of different things, I feel like I might as well at least start off this supercut with at least a bit of a critique of the one trailer that started it all, if you will, and then kind of go into some updates and whatnot and just different things. So first, let's start off with the trailer that started it all, the Fallout Ashfall trailer that ended up getting rejected, which caused two old writers for Fallout Ashfall to basically jump ship and ask Shadow Raven Studios to make the first hit piece, and of course ultimately throw the first punch, if you will. If I were to actually try and do this on just like a regular, commentary basis, it would be pretty hard to do so. Mostly because, well, one, I kind of already tried to do that, but also number two, it would just be kind of pointless. So I might as well just kind of go over just a few major points that I genuinely believe are just really things that I'm surprised that they didn't even bother to fucking think about when they actually created this. I'm gonna be as respectful as I possibly can, despite the fact that these individuals who created this trailer are about as disrespectful as they could be to me. So of course, first of all, in terms of visuals, the visuals are absolutely abysmal. It's mainly just a showcase of the Black Abyss, if you will, for about 90% of it, and the 10% that you can see is either just, well, glowing light sources, or whatever in the hell is happening in the beginning. Past that, good fucking luck trying to understand anything that's actually happening in terms of visuals. At that point, you might as well just turn the trailer into a podcast, because that's basically what it becomes, past, the 1 minute mark. Second thing, there's also, this weird, I guess, pseudo, advertisement break that happens towards the beginning for, the Nuka-Cola pineapple that exists.
There are so many things to explore, quite literally. This video is brought to you by our sponsor, Nuka-Cola.
Introducing Nuka Pineapple, exclusive to Hawaii. Nuka Pineapple is made from, get this, real pineapple.
And the way that it segues into it just not only doesn't work, but also the visuals don't really work for it, because all it is just, well, the player picking it up and then just moving it around a little bit and then throwing it out of the frame or whatever. It's just kind of pointless. Overall, it not only could have been done better, but just overall just kind of seemed very pointless. Third of all, the microphone quality of the first guy that talks is not exactly the best. It's only slightly worse than my own microphone quality, and that's saying something. At least the second guy, who I assume is Crimson Gray if I remember correctly.
You Monty, Crimson Gray here, lead writer and potentially voice actor of the project series. In order for us to dive into what is going to be the campaign the players adore within the Hilo ruins,
at least has a semi-serviceable mic, so at least I can give him that. But the first guy, which I'm going to safely assume is All Out Monty, you need a better microphone, my guy. I just simply have to put it that way. And I know that's rich coming from me because my microphone quality isn't exactly the best, but hey, it takes one to know one in this case. But of course, to kind of wrap it all off, we of course have to get into the necessity of the trailer. Because from what I've heard, when this trailer was even being worked on, the mod was not even close to being finished yet. The mod was barely in its concept stage, if you will. They basically only had the layout of the map at the very least for this mod, and beyond there, nothing else was finished. That was basically about it. Judging by what was shown off in the trailer, all they had was the map. and like maybe a few models for like some of like the items and shit like that. And that is the long and short of what they actually had done for the mod. The trailer itself was just pointless to begin with, and they spent way too much time on it, from what I've heard. And it's surprising that it even took that much time, because it looks like one of the laziest trailers humanly possible. Like, I don't even know what else to say about it. And of course, the audio balancing is absolutely terrible. I just feel like I should also point that out. I've already made a joke about that in one of the videos in this supercut, so... you know, there's that. But now on to some updates. First of all, I'm largely making this supercut largely to kind of keep my audience, you know, tided over for the next couple days because, well, once you believe it, since it's October and since I have a scare acting job in an amusement park, well, that basically means that for the foreseeable future, at least until the end of this month, I'm going to be very busy during the weekends. It's going to be 4-day weekends, to put it very simply, for my job, up until the last week, where it's just going to be the entire week. I'm going to be going over there at night, and probably going to be wiped as all hell by the morning. So, don't expect too many videos coming during the weekends during this entire month, because it's just going to be absolute hell to try and get anything done, and personally, I don't want to push myself beyond my own limits here, okay? So, of course, making this supercut is going to be pretty easy, pretty clear-cut. It's not going to take too much time out of my day for me to even work on it, so it won't be too bad. It's at least easy enough to put together. It's just me lining up some videos, so that's really all there is. There's really nothing much else that needs to be added in other than what's ever in the beginning. And then second of all, I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers, if not already at 2,000 subscribers by the time this supercut even comes out. After all, as of recording this, I think I'm about, like, maybe less than 40 subscribers away from reaching 2,000, which is genuinely terrifying to me. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a premiere, so I'm just going to be dead honest. I have no idea what to actually do for 2,000. So, of course, if this is a premiere, go ahead and hit me with, like, your best ideas for what I should, you know, try to do for 2,000 subscribers. And, of course, if you don't catch premiere, you can always just leave your ideas in the comments. Personally, I don't really care. As long as it's, you know, something that as long as it's something that you think would fit in with the channel, personally, I don't really care. Just hit me with some of your wackiest ideas, that is at least within reason, and I'll see what I can do for 2,000, since I'm getting pretty damn close to it. I was originally going to do like a 1,000 video special, since I recently reached like 1,000 videos, but, well, unfortunately other things got in the way, and it's a little bit too late for that, and personally I don't really care, so whatever. Anyways, that's gonna have to do it for pretty much everything. My critiques are done, and as far as I know, other than, well, I mean, like, other than, like, Shadow Raven's attempted, like, response to my DLC fun video, I don't really anticipate anything major happening in the future when it comes to this situation. At least, I genuinely fucking hope so, okay? I'm just gonna be completely dead honest, okay? I'm pretty much back at that same state that I was during Season 1, where I just kind of want this shit to finally just be over, so that way I can wash my hands of this and move on to better and more entertaining subjects. But of course, if it does start up again, well, you know I'm gonna have to get my hands dirty again, which honestly I don't really mind. But hey, at least with the second season, I'm able to still keep my crown of being the Raven Slayer, and I'm able to just keep things going. And of course, we still have a couple of the archive channels who may have lost Archive 3 in the entire, in this entire saga, but it was a sacrifice worth making. But anyways, guys, that's gonna have to do it. Roll the clips. How's it going, everybody? The Raven Slayer here. So, yes, there is in fact a reason as to why I'm even doing this intro. Usually it's just something goofy that I decide to name myself, and well, it is a pretty goofy name anyways. I will in fact explain further. So, yes, Shadow Raven Studios is in fact back, and apparently his friends, All Out Monty and Crimson Grey, are going out of their way and abusing the copyright system. But I will get into that one as I kind of elaborate on things that I've learned leading up to this sudden resurfacing of Shadow Raven Studios. So, basically, not much has happened since the last time I talked about him. In fact, the last time that I talked about him was... actually, how long ago was it? Last time I truly talked about him was about 2 weeks ago, and of course the Supercut came out, well, as of about a week ago. And apparently, a lot of things I've ended up learning. So, ever since Shadow Raven Studios uploaded that video of him jorking it to Lolicon, and ultimately leaving YouTube, at least for a couple weeks, funnily enough. A lot of funny things have happened. First of all, one of the members of my Discord server, some kid, ended up deciding to yoink the for Shadow Raven Studios like old account, and is now kind of using it as kind of like a fake Shadow Raven Studios account. I think it's actually genuinely fucking hilarious, but of course it means that Shadow Raven Studios can't really use that old anymore. But of course that won't really matter anymore because, well, he's back on a different account, at least I believe he is. On top of that too, I ended up learning that apparently they're planning on making a documentary on not just myself, but also probably on Xander Hall and probably anybody else that's affiliated with the Fallout Ashfall mod to really any extent, even if they've just probably lightly talked about it in a semi-positive light, or if they've talked about it in a way that is contrary to their beliefs on it, they're probably going to include you within this weird cringe-ass documentary. And on top of that too, I ended up learning that apparently, because Shadow Raven Studios ended up getting laughed off of YouTube by me and Rince, apparently this weird Confederacy of United Modders, and yes, their acronym is unironically COM, and I'm surprised that they don't actually realize this yet. But this weird Confederacy of United Modders, which is apparently this group that Shadow Raven Studios was this big mouthpiece for, apparently was so mad at, myself, probably Xander Hall, and Rince, for basically causing him to lose it and jump ship off of YouTube for a little bit, that apparently they decided to call us and nickname us the Raven Slayers, which unironically sounds like some shit that I would see in like the fucking Elden Ring DLC. So, obviously I'm kind of playing into it a little bit here because not only is it goofy as hell, but they unironically made us sound so badass that it's not even funny. But apparently they're deciding that they're planning on trying to avenge him in some way. And I guess their first line of defense, outside of this weird documentary that they supposedly plan on creating, is apparently false striking archived videos and any videos that apparently have talked negatively about Shadow Raven Studios. At least that's my guess, considering that All Out Monty and Crimson Grey are probably also part of this weird-ass Confederacy. So of course I ended up discovering this, mainly due to a comment thread here underneath one of the archive channel's recent videos, which is of course a re-upload of a video from the How to Exist guy, which, well, judging by this, I'm assuming it's just All Out Monty's alternate account, titled Why Moment of Sanity Should Collab with All Out Monty. And apparently, and I cannot believe this, I have tried to avoid even bringing this guy up when he did come up during the Shadow Raven Studios situation, even back when it was still, like, really heavily going on, but I just can't avoid it anymore, because apparently this comment from none other than fucking Tarragon, the guy that decided to make this gem of a quote?
I know what the fuck 1 + 1 is, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, apparently he left a comment on this one, asking, hey, can you re-upload his Wokefield video? That would be so funny, which I honestly think would be funny as well if that video even still existed. But of course, that's when I found out that apparently Shadow Raven Studios is back on this new account in which he goes, I wouldn't do that. That would be a very bad idea. By the way, you can thank me for the reason being this fraud's channel is missing videos now. I've tried my best to at least make it sound like coherent English. To which Tarragon, responds with confusion and then states, well, I can see clearly this whole time you were a double agent, traitor! I copyright claimed the vids he stole from me, so don't even think about giving him any more ideas. This won't end well if he continues. Now, of course, what he doesn't realize is that it wasn't just a copyright claim, it was a copyright strike. He copyright struck videos, meaning that he decided to abuse YouTube's broken copyright system in order to get videos that make him look bad taken down. And these are just videos that were made by him. Not even just videos made on him, just videos made by him that make him look stupid. All because apparently, at least according to the Shadow Raven Studios archive channel, which I will in fact have a segment later on featuring a couple of my friends and their own thoughts on this entire situation, kind of explaining this, but apparently the re-upload of the leaked Fallout Ashfall trailer apparently sparked Shadow Raven Studios to resurface and team up with All Out Monty and Crimson Gray to try and go on this weird copyright striking campaign. Which, unfortunately, since YouTube doesn't really know how to handle archival videos all too well, I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, the archive channel is probably going to get hit the hardest, but I highly doubt that any videos that I made on Shadow Raven Studios, especially probably the most damning one about him uploading Lolicon, are really going to get affected all too well because, well, not only are they fair use because they're extremely transformative, but on top of that too, the video that I made most recently on him where he uploaded Lolicon doesn't even feature any videos of his, and instead actually just features a video of one of his meat riders. So unless he's going to try and claim a meat rider's video as his own, then I highly doubt that he's going to be able to do anything against me, and I would love to fucking see him try. Now, of course, Tarragon responds here stating, "How am I a double agent? Are you okay? And why did you claim his videos?" And I just kind of respond by, I initially thought that this was like a fake account by Shadow Raven Studios, but of course, after looking back through this is exactly the same mannerisms as Shadow Raven Studios. I remember this kind of, you know, way of talking, really to any extent at this goddamn point. And obviously the archive channel basically lets me know this isn't bait, he's just straight up silencing anyone who criticizes him now, which is of course extremely fucking pathetic. Now of course, right now I'm going to be playing a segment with a couple of friends of mine in which we kind of take a look at the archive channel's most recent video where he kind of talks about this and talks about what's been going on, as well as their own thoughts upon this. So take it away, other me, as well as Domino and Paper. Here's the segment. I have two friends here that go by the name of Domino. You probably know them at this point. They've been featured on the channel a couple times. And Paper, who, well, appears pretty semi-frequently on streams.
Hello.
And this is the video that was recently uploaded by the Shadow Raven Studios archive, literally as of 18 minutes ago, at least as
You're
recording
not
this.
streaming to the call.
Oh my fucking god. But here's the video right here, and we're gonna kind of break down a lot of this. I'll probably explain a lot more of it within the actual video itself, but this is just a small segment
Subsection.
here. Yeah. So let's see here. Shadow Raven Studios, All Out Monty, and Crimson Gray are abusing YouTube's copyright system and taking down and false reporting any videos that criticize or use footage from Shadow Raven Studios' channel. Shadow Raven Studios and his friends are actively trying to silence anyone who has made videos about them in the past, or anyone who might have dirt on them. These copyright strikes were in response to me uploading the Fallout Ashfall trailer that was made by All Out Monty and Crimson Gray. Well, shit. If you can download and archive any and all videos, you can still see on this channel before it's too late. And I guess this is just showing off that this is that the strike is in fact actually real here. So apparently,
oh my god.
I guess, like, what do I even have to say right here?
There is no way that this is going to go through. I'll just say that.
I'll just leave you guys up with your own thoughts on this.
Do you want to go first, Paper?
I guess. So, for one thing, this is, I mean, so I was talking about this earlier in a separate conversation, but Shadow Raven Studios, my guy, this isn't how copyright works. You have not filed a patent, or sorry, not a patent, but
Copyright.
You have not filed copyright for your channel.
So you quite literally have no legs to stand on here.
Yeah, like
You're just making yourself look like an even bigger fool.
I mean, I'm sure that this will probably go through anyways because YouTube's system is very broken, but I have a feeling that this archive channel, if they dispute this, can get it back pretty easily, considering that, I mean, Shadow Raven, again, I seriously doubt that he's copyrighted his channel, considering that he uses, you know, fair use in almost every one of his videos.
The channel is called, I just thought of this, Shadow Raven Studios Archive. It's not claiming the content as theirs. It's literally saying that it is his. So, you can't copyright it. It's just an archive.
Yeah, like
it's not claiming it's their content.
This isn't a situation like let's take an archive like Moist Critical, for example. Moist Critical doesn't really, as far as I know, doesn't really give a shit about the archive channels because one, he has his own archive channel, and two, his content is still available on his own channel, which means that, you know, people can just go and watch it on his channel. This archive channel Shadow Raven Studios Archive channel is serving a much bigger purpose because, I mean, as of right now, Shadow Raven Studios is off YouTube.
Well, aside from his new account that he recently created. This is the new @ for apparently Shadow Raven Studios, and I wonder what he's even going to do with this channel. I will definitely be keeping a very close eye on it, that's for damn sure.
He's calling somebody a traitor?
Yes, he's calling Tarragon a traitor because Tarragon was just kind of like, I guess, memeing around and just kind of like, you know, I would safely assume jokingly agreeing with the guy back then.
Also,
like,
can I
in
just
one
say,
comment section.
I wouldn't do that. That would be a very bad idea. He's like vaguely threatening. Or not vaguely, he's very threatening actually. I'll just say, he's very threatening.
Yeah. Again, I'll probably go into my own thoughts in the actual video, but yeah.
I have a bit to say, adding on to what Paper did, and my own views on all of this.
Yeah.
Dear Shadow Raven Studios, this is for you specifically. Do you really think that after posting a video of you watching LOL Icon while, you know, doing that and having your own quote-unquote commentary, do you really think that the internet is going to let you back? Do you really think that making copyright claims and copyright strike that are false, I would just say that they are false claims, do you really think that making those claims is gonna make it so you can come back to YouTube? No. What you did is literal PDF philia. Philia. I don't know how to pronounce things. I'm angry. Because it's disgusting. And No, I just... if you keep trying to come back, we're just gonna keep punching you down, because at this point, dude, it's... You've dug yourself a grave, it's time for you to lay in it. Because there's no turning back.
Yeah.
In times like this, I am reminded of a particular Dark Side Phil, when he basically did the exact same thing as Shadow Raven, and people are still fucking with him today because of it. Yeah, I have a quick note. Hi Shadow Raven Studios, I'm a trans lesbian furry, and you probably hate my entire existence. I just want you to know, if any other, you know, cheese pizza comes out surrounding you, that you've done anything like that, I have dealt with those kinds of people before, and I will do as much as I can to make sure that you cannot hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
In the realm of online stuff.
Anything else?
No, that was about it. Just
I want to add that
I've
insult
run
us.
out. I've run out a pedophile of my town before.
Huh?
I've managed.
Fuck yeah, girl.
I've managed to get them to move out of the state, even. So,
Damn! Good for you!
So, I'm not fucking around. If something like this does happen again, and I don't doubt that it will,
The hammer's coming down.
Considering your track record, yeah, please just be better.
Just go away. Like, just leave. Just that, like, quite literally, just go.
Like, yeah, I said it to the other person I've dealt with. I will say it to you. The best thing you can do is get off the internet.
So, yeah, to put it extremely simply, I never thought that a Season 2 of the Shadow Raven Studios / weird Ashfall situation would end up starting off with, well, SRS returning and deciding to take the worst route humanly possible. But here we the hell are. I guess a Season 2 is going to be starting, and I guess more hilarity is going to ensue. So, I guess prepare thyselves for whatever in the hell is going to happen here coming into the future. And, again, SRS, if you come across this video, good luck trying to strike it, because once again, it features no content from you. How's it going, everybody? Flashbang here. So I feel like I might as well at least start off this video with a little bit of an important message, if you will. Mostly towards Shadow Raven Studios and his little group here, okay? After all, apparently they're asking for this, so I feel like I'm only obligated to at least give them this one. To Shadow Raven Studios and his weird little Confederacy, I sincerely apologize for not giving a damn about your feelings. Did you really think that I was actually going to apologize? Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I might as well just kind of let you know right now, I am only just getting started with this second season, buddy, and wouldn't you know it, but SRS isn't the only one whose head is going to be stuck onto the chopping block this season, isn't it? In fact, I have a lineup of about 3 or so individuals here to at least get us started off, a little bit of an appetizer, if you will, of some of the people that are working alongside with Shadow Raven Studios in order to, well, do various things, whether that is begin smear campaigns, spread rumors, or even just straight up do the dirty work themselves by, well, getting directly involved with abusing systems. So let us get started here. I feel like we might as well at least get started with our good old friend All-Out Monty, or as he's also known as, How to Exist Pranks and Tutorials, which, to my knowledge, at least as of recording this, he's pretty much nuked everything except for his shorts on his YouTube channel. I feel like I might as well just mention this right now as well. He was also the person that within our second debate with Shadow Raven Studios actually decided to unironically put into chat, what's wrong about Lolicon? So yeah, we're dealing with a real stand-up guy today, aren't we? But of course, the main reason why I'm bringing this guy up is largely because over the past, 12 or so hours, and I still can't believe that I'm even making a follow-up video this soon, over the, course of, 12 or so hours after I even finished editing the video for, I think, yesterday, as this video is probably going to be put up, the day afterwards, apparently just so much has ended up happening, to the point where, this guy, that goes with the name of Stuvius Pip, who apparently has his own YouTube channel, where he does his own things, namely in regards to, I guess, just various video game clips and whatever in the hell else they decide to do. Apparently he thought that this Stew Dog individual was either some sort of friend of mine, or perhaps some kind of an alias of mine for whatever reason, and I'm just gonna quickly let you know right now, if you genuinely think that this sounds insane, it only gets worse from here. But I feel like I might as well just, kind of read this comment for you that Mr. All-Out has decided to grace us with. If you're reading this, kiss your YouTube channel goodbye. You messed with the wrong person and they've called upon the Confederacy of United Modders for battle. If you're reading this, you are either Moment of Sanity, also misspelled right there, or a known ally of Moment of Sanity. Know this, if you're an ally of Moment of Sanity, you will only be spared from having your YouTube channel deleted if you create a video apology to Abram for talking bad about him. By the way, that's going to be one of the individuals we're going to be talking about here. If you do not release an apology video within the next 48 hours, prepare to be striked. If you do have an enemy Moment of Sanity, know that an example will be made out of you to show why you do not mess with the Confederacy of United Modders. Oh no, I'm actually so scared. I'm going to shit myself, I guess. I really have no idea. But yeah, this is apparently one of the main figureheads, at least to my knowledge, of this weird-ass Confederacy of United Modders here. And apparently he's planning on just deciding to strike my channel for whatever reason in order to, quote, make an example out of me. So I guess if things suddenly start going missing and I start making various community posts talking about, oh shit, I've actually gotten striked for whatever reason, be sure that not only will I probably just either wait until they're just put back up anyways, because none of them belong to All Out Monty or anyone in his weird group, not even Shadow Raven Studios, mind you, but, I don't even know what this is even going to, show. He's just gonna ultimately Streisand himself into a fucking corner by doing this, but whatever, buddy. I guess this is the first time you're actually getting a proper video ever made on you, so good fucking luck, buddy. On to the next person, which is this Ahab individual, or as he also goes by, Abram. I really have no idea if they are like two different individuals or whatever, but he has like this weird friend, or potentially an alt that goes by the name of Greg or whatever, that apparently is trying to run this weird smear campaign of apparently me being a sexual harasser that's apparently sending his friend Ahab like feet or something like that. I feel like I should just mention this. What is it with this weird ass group and feet for whatever reason? First it was Shadowraven Studios with this weird supposed channel filled with Skyrim's feet and armpits, and now it's this guy claiming that I'm sending pictures of my own feet to other people in order to harass them. It's like fucking Nickelodeon up in here. What in the hell is going on? But anyways, for those of you wondering what my own interactions with this Abram/Ahab individual is, literally my only interaction with this guy is that he followed me on Twitter at some point, interacted with a few of my tweets, and then somebody else, let's just call this guy Dave for the sake of anonymity, pointed out that, well, he actually feeds some other guy that we're going to be going into here later a bunch of weird fake information in order to try and spread some sort of weird rumors and whatnot, and he immediately got defensive about it. So of course I bring up the fact that I covered this said account on stream at some point. It brought up his name a few times. He continued to get defensive. I asked him why he was even following the guy in the first place, and once again tried to get defensive about it. And I pretty much just left it off at, and I pretty much just, at least at that point, because I hadn't really been given enough information, at least at that point, I just simply left it at, okay, I'll just keep my eye on you and we'll just leave it at this. And I just simply left it at that, and I thought that we were all good. That was until, well, literally while I was at work yesterday as recording this, where apparently one of his friends decided to come up here and try to run this weird-ass campaign, in which me and my friend Paper decided to actually just kind of start asking him some questions, asking him who the hell this guy was, what the hell this guy was even talking about, where the proof of any of this is. He immediately started getting defensive, making excuses, and overall apparently thought that I ran the fucking Shadowraven Studios archive channel for whatever reason. Yeah, I really have no idea. But after I pointed out that I don't own the Shadowraven Studios archive channel or anything along those lines, and that unless there's really any proof, then there's really nothing that they can even do other than, I guess, well, their weird little crusade here, then he just kind of shut up after that, which is at least good. But now on to the last individual here, that goes by the name of Sneedclave Anonymous. Now, I'm not even sure if this guy's even associated or affiliated with this Confederacy whatsoever. He just kind of seems to be this weird, quote, insider for what's going on behind the scenes of, like, big Fallout mods or whatever the hell else, who apparently is starting this weird-ass campaign against, like, me, Ashfall Dude, and a few others. It's kind of silly, I will in fact just be honest. But at least there's a few little, like, weird, juicy, like, screenshots of, like, things that I'm just gonna safely assume All Out Monty has said, because this guy is very vehemently stating that these screenshots are fake, so I wouldn't be surprised if All Out Monty himself is actually just this guy that's just saying this crazy garbage. And, of course, apparently he also has his own fucking Fallout Ashfall server, in which the icon is just, well, the one joke that every transphobe has. That pretty much just kind of rounds off everything, at least for right now. I never anticipated that I would actually be making yet another, follow-up video to everything, but I guess Season 2 is going to be extremely interesting right now, because it's not only going to be featuring SRS, if SRS is even going to be prominent that much in this second season, it's going to be featuring some of his weird little friends here going around and trying to do shit. How's it going, everybody? The Dusk Dude here. So, yeah, I didn't anticipate anything new actually happening in regards to the entire SRS slash Confederacy of United Modders situation that's been going on. I was originally gonna call this, like, the Ashfall situation, but, like, at this point it's already evolved way beyond Fallout Ashfall and any kinds of perceived issues with it, that at this point calling it the Ashfall situation would be pretty much like, it just probably wouldn't make that much sense. Sure, it may have started with that mod, but at this point it has nothing to do with it. It has more to do with these guys guys being genuinely pissed scared of me and Xander Hall and anybody else who may have covered Shadow Raven and his entire weird-ass little group at this point. So much so that apparently even Rince has been roped into this entire situation now, and plans on making his own video at some point. And if that ends up coming out before this video goes up, then I'll probably have it linked in the description. If not, then I'll probably announce it on my community page. But anyways, why am I making this video? Well, it's because SRS and All Out Monty decided to show up within a live stream that had absolutely nothing to do with them as per usual, and decided to make themselves look like complete and utter fools by, well, by quite literally admitting that the sexy girl hentai video 27 thing actually existed, by them getting genuinely scared when I actually brought up the title of that video. If you don't believe me, here's the clip. Shadow Raven, I want to quickly hit you with this. Does a sexy girl hentai video 27 ring a bell? Just asking.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Nice. Can't slither your way out of this.
Yeah,
We're
is
not
the way
talk
the
about that video, but we're gonna talk about that video.
And then, of course, there was another clippable moment, which was, of course, the live deletion of at least the first iteration of the How to Exist Pranks and Tutorials channel, which, mind you, is a channel that was run by All Out Monty, and it wasn't very hard to find out that it was run by All Out Monty because, well, it literally had the watermark of InVideo AI with InVideo/Allout. Like, it really, all it took was just, like, not even that much detective work. All it took was just watching the fucking dumbass videos, which, mind you, most of this entire segment is going to just be me and a group of my friends just basically kind of laughing at these really shittily made AI videos that All Out Monty decided to create involving me for whatever reason, and they were unbelievably terrible, don't worry about it. But of course, once again, here's the clip of the live deletion of the original How to Exist channel.
Of the whole conversation. Yeah, also, I would just like to say...
No way! He nuked the video!
Wait, what?
He deleted the video! He deleted the fucking video with the watermark!
That's another good
hold up.
live stream moment.
Oh, shit!
Let me see here. He nuked the channel as well! He nuked the channel as well!
Oh, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
So yeah, if it wasn't already obvious enough that these guys are genuinely terrified of, you know, me as well as anybody else that's covering this situation, I mean, the fact that they're trying their best to try and hide any evidence of, like, their just straight-up involvement or anything that makes them look bad, you know, it's already just evidence enough that these guys are terrified as all hell. These guys are scared shitless, if it wasn't already obvious enough. And I'm not even just saying that in order to just kind of like make myself seem bigger. Like, it's obvious that these guys are scared. Like, they're terrified. And I don't know how to feel about that. I just kind of find that to be really funny in my personal opinion. And of course, if you want to see any more of like the incriminating stuff without having to like dig through an entire live stream in order to find the specific portion, I'll pretty much upload the entire recording of that particular segment unedited, but it'll just be kind of like an unlisted video that'll be linked in the description below, so that way you guys can kind of watch it for yourself on your own time. It's a little lengthy. It's like about, what, how long? It's about like 41 minutes long before they finally decide to fuck off, so, you know, have fun with that. But of course, you know, that's enough of that. Let's actually get into the main segment here, which is of course just me and a group of my friends taking a look at, well, what used to be on the How to Exist channel before it ended up getting deleted.
Fuck it.
Sure, go ahead.
Fucking How to Exist reaction. Hang on, let me turn up the audio. Wait, hang on, shit.
All 2 of his subscribers are definitely getting a kick out of this.
Yeah, I'll probably post this on the second channel. Hang on, let's cue the dramatic music, resume it.
Alright, let's start from the beginning since you're starting to record now. Alright, here we go.
Why isn't anyone talking about All Out Monty's side of the Ashfall drama? Let's uncover the secrets that have been hidden for too long.
What? Seriously, what is this goofy-ass traumatic music?
I don't know.
Sounds like I'm about to go into a fucking eulogy. What is this shit?
What is...
It's like this is set up as like
also,
kind of like a true crime story.
Like
also,
reaction to the dream face reveal video.
Yeah, it's like, hang on, wait, also, what the fuck is... Sandy, you see that in the top corner of this InVideo/Allout? What the fuck is this supposed to be? Is this like a anti-woke video posting site or some shit?
No, this is an AI like video.
Oh, it's actually like AI, like you weren't joking.
Oh yeah, no.
Just an AI narrator.
Oh shit.
Really bad.
You didn't even buy the premium plan?
All Out, well, that's basically just revealing that this guy is basically just All Out Monty, which is one of the idiots in the cum group.
The Confederation.
He's asking you to interview him.
Bro literally just put the flashlight on himself.
Bruh.
Bro's asking you to interview him.
Shadows, folks, and it's time.
Oh my god, I didn't want to go into fucking full screen, Jesus.
He steps into the spot.
Why the fuck is this Eminem looking motherfucker dancing?
Why is
Yeah, why is Eminem showing up here? What does Eminem have to do with it? Jesus fuck.
My name is Eminem and I like
Oh shit.
Bro.
Good grief.
He needs to interview him pronto. Why, you ask? Because Ashfall do.
Oh my god!
Wait, Don't tell moment of wokeness.
This is so bad. This is so bad. Hang on. I gotta listen to this shit again, because I can barely fucking hear the actual narration of what it's trying to say.
Pronto. Why, you ask? Because Ashfall do, the so-called hero of this saga, has some skeletons in his closet.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
No, hang on, wait. No.
Man.
No, the supposed skeletons is like they had like pronouns on like a Twitter bio or some shit. And
yeah, literally.
Oh my god.
That was the skeleton. No, Sandy. No, Sandy. They're fucking skeletons.
Oh my
was that
god,
they
wait,
weren't
hang
being...
on, there's 3 of them? As well, it actually tagged me in this one for whatever reason.
Bruh.
He might be hiding his true religion from the public. Now,
His true
Why is the Hang on, why is...
Listen,
why
I get
is...
it, it's all AI generated, but like, no...
Why is that any of your business what their religion is? The fuck?
This is not convincing me to fucking interview you all out, like, Christ.
Oh, for fuck's
I
sake.
know, I'd love to fucking debate you on this shit. I would love to debate you on this, like, shitty AI garbage and, like, why you're apparently sided with the Confederation and why you think Shadow Raven Studios is, like, the second coming of Jesus Christ. But I highly doubt they have the balls to... I highly doubt they have the balls to really confront me, like, face-to-face, considering the fact that you're hiding behind AI-generated garbage.
Yeah. Like,
Also,
you're hiding behind AI.
Also, who the hell has chalk that thick? Why is chalk so long?
That was such a small detail. Ow.
Who just ear raped their mic? And
So
can I
that
kill you?
vaguely sounded like sanity.
That was sanity.
Alright, anyways.
Got to lose, or should we say gain? Imagine the bombshell revelations Monty could drop if given the chance.
What bombshell revelations? But the fact that you might just be projecting a lot of shit. After all, you're apparently a lolicon, dude.
No, Sandy, he's about to drop some bombshells on you. No,
For some reason,
Sandy.
my Discord crashed.
No, Sandy. He's gonna drop some bombshells. SRS called you a pussy, he's gonna call you a dickhead. That's a bombshell.
I'm so scared.
Whoa!
It's so scary. I'm so scared. Consider me frightened, even. Consider my tivers shimbered.
If Monon of Sanity doesn't grab this...
Monon of Sanity!
Wait, hang on, I gotta listen to that again. Hang on.
Turn up.
Everybody shut up. This is as high as it goes.
Okay. Play
It's a
it.
full-blown intrigue. If Monon of Sanity doesn't...
What was it?
Monon of Sanity?
No, Mona of Sanit.
Get back. Again.
I gotta listen to that again.
It isn't just drama, people. It's a full-blown intrigue. If Monon of Sanity doesn't grab this opportunity...
If he doesn't grab this opportunity with the sad, dramatic, my dog just died in the background music type shit.
So that's what he calls you in like the 2-minute video, like the Urias video, whatever.
The truth. It's time for All Out Monty to tell his side of the Ashfall story. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Why'd they give me a nice, like, thumbs up, just like, it's time for All Out Monty.
God, I cannot wait. I literally cannot wait. Alright,
Also,
let's see this one. The latest moment of sanity drama explained.
Oh no.
Good grief, let's see this
If
shit.
your Twitter feed looks like an epic showdown, you're probably following Moment of Sanity and Abram. So here's the T-Moment.
Who?
The Abram guy, you know, the guy that's apparently trying to claim that I sexually harassed him by sending him pictures of feet or something.
What?
I can't
Yeah, you
believe
heard
it.
him.
I literally put that in the video. But like, I haven't even talked to the guy in fucking ages, and this video was literally uploaded like an hour ago. It's been like a week since that shit ended up happening, man.
I'm not gonna lie, what I thought happened was I thought How to Exist just got really obsessed with you and just started covering every drama that you did. Like, the Moment of Sandy situation is crazy, and it has like a Penguin Zero-ass intro, where it's just like, yeah, so today, Moment of Sandy, got in some drama with this guy named Sade and Anti-Troll. You know, this whole situation, it just really tickles me in the wrong way, in the wrongest ways. I don't know how to do, like, the fucking weird Penguin Zero joke mannerisms, but you get what I mean. Like, it's just, you know,
It's so bad. It's just really bad. It's
I
really
could
all I
never
gotta say.
imagine being so obsessed with somebody to where I would be posting videos like, you know, the fucking, this person that I'm talking about drama situation is so crazy. It's like, okay, buddy. Okay.
Somebody accused you of sexually harassing them by sending them pictures of feet.
Again, I wish I was making this shit up, and the thing is that this is like now the second time that for some reason feet have become like a major pivotal part of this entire saga.
Let's resume. Let's just completely walk past that.
Control mode on Abram. Tweets flew like arrows in a medieval battle, but Abram wasn't going down without a fight. He called in the cavalry Crimson Grey, the wizard with words.
Actually, no, he didn't call in Crimson at all. Crimson was not even a fucking part of this! Unless you're saying that Greg is the guy who's Crimson, in which case, well, I guess technically Crimson was part of this, because he's the one that decided to come in with these weird fucking allegations against me that there's no proof of. Like, what?
Have you even ever, like, messaged them before?
Nope, my only interaction was publicly on Twitter, where I was basically just confronting them on various bits of information that I was being sent and various things that I noticed were being connected to them. And then they suddenly spun it around as if I was like this big fucking bully or something like that, when in reality I was just like, hey, do you know anything about this? Do you know what's going on here? Are you connected to this in any way? That's literally it.
You know, that's something I'm bringing up in my video on the Andy Pants fans, is like, anti-woke losers are such victims because they love to, like, you know, make fun and bully everybody else and call everybody else cucks.
But then second it's turned.
Yeah, and then the second the tables turn and I call out Andy Pants and I'm personally attacking him in quotation marks and I'm the bad guy and I'm buying subs apparently, trying to artificially inflate my views or whatever. It's like, you know, it's just anti-woke losers have to be like the biggest fucking snowflakes on the internet, like unironically. It's like the biggest form of projection.
Monty the Meme Lord and Shadow.
Oh my god, wait, hang on. Did I just hear that correctly? Hang on, everybody, shut up, shut up, shut up.
He called in the cavalry Crimson Grey, the wizard with words, all out Monty the Meme Lord and
Monty the Meme Lord!
The fuck?
All out Monty the Meme Lord.
All out Monty the Meme Lord.
Meme Lord Brian, the sequel.
Shot, this is real. Oh my fucking god.
This can't be. I don't want to believe this is real sometimes. I really don't, but I know that this is. Like, fucking Xander Hall was saying this on stream too. Like, Xander Hall was just still in disbelief, like, on this, like, on these guys being, like, unironic, and I was just like,
Nocturne.
I want to believe they're, like, fake, but at the same time, I know they're real. That's the sad part. It's like, you know, just deep down they're real, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
There's not much else to say other than this is just sad as hell.
I'm gonna say this to people who might say just like, why aren't you taking it so seriously? Like, these are serious allegations. We know they're false.
Yeah.
We know that there is literally no evidence or proof of this, so there isn't a need to take it seriously. Because
I'm literally laughing at this because they literally have nothing on me. Like,
words, all out Monty the Meme Lord and Shadow Raven Studios, the master of digital warfare. This team.
The master of digital warfare.
Give me a fucking minute.
Master of digital warfare. My brother in Christ, he lost 3 debates within the span of 2 months!
Hang on, I gotta fucking readjust my mic and put my headset back on. Did I?
He lost 3 fucking debates in 2 fucking months and lost his shit after he lost his last one with me, to the point where apparently he was threatening to chop his balls off with a pair of safety scissors.
Did my ears deceive me and I just had like a complete freak out for no reason, or did I hear that correctly? The Shadow Raven Studios, the master of digital warfare. I heard that correctly, right?
You heard that correctly. Let's rewind a bit.
Meme Lord and Shadow Raven Studios, the master of digital warfare. This team.
You can't be fucking serious. You can't be serious.
Oh my god.
How the
so
fuck?
Goofy. It's so goofy.
And no, Sandy, you have to think to yourselves.
Like, I feel bad bullying them now. Like.
No, and Sandy, you have to think to yourself. It's either these guys are like grown ass men in fucking Canada worrying about American politics like Shadow Raven, or they're like what else could they be? Because like I don't even think like kids are this stupid.
Lit. Together they crafted the ultimate comeback strategy. Memes, roasts, and epic threads flooded moment of sanity's timeline.
I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die with this fucking editing.
That none of this ended up happening. In fact, they just went dead silent after I fucking called them out, and the only thing that really happened was them trying to make up some weird shit about me sexually harassing people with pictures of feet. Like, that's literally all they came up with. What is this man... Again, I get it. It's all AI generated. It's all AI slop. But, like, I just...
Sanity,
what the fuck are they talking
all I
about?
want you to do is just rewind 5 seconds and watch the guy typing on the keyboard as he's saying, moment of Sandy, guys, timeline flooded with memes and trolls. Just watch,
Comeback strategy. Memes, roasts, and epic threads flooded moment.
Oh my god.
That's how it looks.
Insert ear rape CSGO op gunshot.
Ooh, I'm so naughty.
It was an all-out war? No, it was not.
It was not a war. It was like
It was like 2 sentences.
An all-out war. Followers from both sides grabbed their popcorn and watched the saga unfold. The stakes were higher than a stroke kill in a battle royale. In the end, it was...
Wait, hang on. He called it a battle royale. You heard that, right?
No, what?
No, rewind. He called it a fucking battle royale. Listen.
Yeah, hang on.
All-out war. Followers from both sides grabbed their popcorn and watched the saga unfold. The stakes were higher than a no-scope kill in a battle royale.
Oh my god.
That was the worst.
This is so
No, these guys are like 40. No, but no fucking person that actually plays a battle royale game says that, because there isn't really much at stake when you fucking decide, you know what, I'm gonna hit a no-scope on somebody. There's no fucking stakes. What is he talking about? Like,
I am having a stroke.
Oh, yeah, these guys are just in their 40s. That has to be it. They're in their 40s and they're like divorced or some shit.
Yeah. Alright, anyways.
About who won or lost. It was about the camaraderie, the epic showdown, and the reminder that...
Camaraderie?
What camaraderie? Are you talking about your camaraderie?
It didn't say camaraderie. It said camaraderie.
Oh no, bro.
Camaraderie, bruh.
The actual world can be just as intense as the real. So who's...
Wait, hang on. Okay, sorry. Hang on. This is something I really want. Hang on. Because it's kind of proving my point. Y'all caught that, right? They were saying, if my ears did not deceive me, they were like, this drama's a reminder that the internet can be as intense as the real world.
Jesus Christ. This is so fucking goofy. But anyways, let's see this one. Top 10 reasons why Monet sanity shouldn't associate...
Monet.
Shouldn't associate with Urius. Who the fuck is Urius?
Hey, Brand...
Oh, God!
Ow, jump scare.
Hi.
Hey, brand managers, ever found yourself in a tricky spot trying to pick the perfect partner for your brand? Well, today I'm diving into 10 shocking reasons why Moments for Saint should steer clear of your...
Moments for
Saint? Well, that's not me at all, so I guess I shouldn't be watching this video. Alright, everybody pack it.
Well, I guess we're leaving.
Buckle up.
Pack up the suitcase, we're getting out of here.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, the way they introduced this, I thought he was gonna, like, say he was sponsored or something, like, hey guys, are you looking for somebody to, like, partner up with? And you're like, fucking,
We are sponsored by generic anti-woke brand number 500.
All of this started because of a Fallout mod.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
from the insight that I've been given, it all started for an even more pathetic reason. It all started because apparently All Out Monty wasn't being given enough attention by fucking Ashfall dude. So he apparently got so mad that he just flew off the handle and just decided to, like, you know, not even bother with the project anymore, which led to him getting kicked out for inactivity.
Wait.
So then he ran to Shadow Raven Studios to make a fucking hit piece.
Reputation risk. Urias has been involved in several controversies lately.
Who
From customer
is-
service to questionable business practices, tying your brand to theirs could damage your credibility. Do you really want that kind of baggage? No.
Well, I mean, assuming that, like, again, this is all just fucking AI generated. I don't even know if this Urias person even fucking exists in my personal opinion. It just sounds like some sort of weird boogeyman that they've decided to create in order to try and, like, pin my name into something. I really have no idea.
Also,
This
wait,
is,
hang
like,
on.
the fourth time I've heard of this name, and it just sounds really goofy.
Hang on, wait. I just realized this.
Yeah.
What I just realized is it sounds like they're trying. It almost sounds like this fucking All Out Monty guy is like trying to give you advice, Andy, because they're like, this is who you shouldn't associate or partner with, and it's like, well, number one, Sandy hasn't really associated with them, so it's either you're A, trying to make up some weird conspiracy about him, or B, you're trying to weirdly just switch up and give him advice for whatever reason. I
don't get it. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me.
And also, I'm pretty sure All Out Monty is like the last person anybody would ever take advice from, so just with that on the
And
table.
also, and especially if we're going to be talking about who you shouldn't associate with. My brother in Christ, you're literally associating with somebody who apparently can't seem to handle, like, getting thrashed around in a fucking debate, and apparently flies off the handle and threatens to leave his country because of it.
Continue.
Financial instability. Urias's financial reports show a downward trend. Moments for Saint is all about growth.
Nah,
It's
I don't-
called
let's
me
just-
Moments for Saint a second time!
Yeah, no, let's just continue because he was saying something about your financial, or your fucking, he was saying you're about something. Rewind 5 seconds. Hang on.
Yeah.
Reports show a downward trend. Moments for Saint is all about growth and stability, right? Associating with a company that...
Why is he being nice now? Wait, hang on, wait.
Why is it? Wait, hang on. Why is it talking about me like I'm a fucking business? Does this, like...
Remember, it's AI.
I get it, it's AI, but it makes it so much more fucking confusing, though. Like, this is the propaganda they're going with?
Wait, hang on, Sandy, wait, when you say AI, do you just mean they're using AI text-to-speech? Like, is All Out Monty typing this? Or is it just...
No, I'm pretty sure this is also, like, an AI-generated script from this, in-video shit.
So hang on, wait, you mean to tell me All Out Monty just, like, fucking went in this AI software and was like, make a hit piece on this channel, and then, like, just inserted a few of your videos on
Pretty much, yes.
You gotta
Or
be
at least,
fucking
like, gave
kidding
them,
me.
or at least gave them, like, baseline information on what it is in order for it to at least be somewhat vaguely connected.
Artist move. Number 8. Conflicting brand values. Moments for Saint promotes sustainability and ethical practices. Urias...
Okay, so I guess he's trying
why
to...
is it being unusually nice to me? This is like
I think he's trying to... I'm not gonna lie, Sandy, I think he's, like, trying to, like... I think the AI is trying to accuse you of being woke, because you're apparently practicing... Because it sounds similar to, what the fuck was it? DEI, DSG?
DUI!
Fuck. What the fuck were the 3-letter terms that these anti-woke idiots... The one... DEI, I think, right? Or no, not ESG, yeah. It sounds like, he's trying to accuse you of being alongside DSG, or ESG, shit. These terms.
Unethical labor practices. This isn't just a minor hiccup, it's a fundamental clash. Number 7, poor market perception. Public perception of Urias is dwindling negatively.
Who the fuck is Urias?
I don't know, that's the thing,
Or
I don't
public perception?
know who this
What
is.
perception? What perception? Who the fuck is Urias? What perception is there?
Does this person even fucking exist? I don't know.
Maybe Ashfall dude, maybe. Since, well...
I don't even know if Ashfall dude even knows what the fuck they're yammering on about.
Moment of Sanity is a business, you know, spreading the woke DEI ESG.
Not moment of
Moments
sanity,
for
moment
Saint.
of saint.
Yeah, no, moment for Saint. Just like cut it, just like how they said moment of Sanit. Just moment for Saint. And just cut it right there. No, yeah, moment of Sanity's definitely a fucking business. Oh.
Piling up, aligning with them could tarnish...
Stay away from buzzwords.
There's the thumbnail of the video.
I think he's trying to tell you to stop using the word aura.
your brand's image by association. Number 6, lack of innovation. Moments for Saint thrives on innovation. Urias,
Why the fuck?
I am losing my fucking mind with this video. I don't even know if I can watch the rest of this because it's just so goofy.
I don't know if bro should be flattered or insulted. Shit.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
Ugh, damn it, Sanity! You fucking thrive off of innovation and creativity! Oh shit, I got water all over my keyboard.
Oh no!
Well,
Rinse.
there goes one of my keyboards.
Exciting. You deserve a partner who's on the cutting edge. Number 5, questionable leadership. Urias' leadership has been under scrutiny for their decision-making and transparency. Would you want to be linked to a sinking ship led by dubious captains?
Again?
What the fuck?
I feel like I should bring up Shadow Raven Studios here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably the most dubious individual out of this entire situation.
Yeah.
Let's
we
be real
have
here.
someone who posted fucking him jorking it to lolly porn. Put onto his fucking YouTube channel and he booked it because he accidentally showed off his spank bank.
Yeah, what? Chat, is the Jorkler?
The Jorkler!
God.
Chat, is the Jorkler guilty of anti-wokeness?
The Jorkler!
The Goonkler? I'm gonna kill you, Momo.
Yeah.
The Goonkler. Chat, is the Joinkler having a lore reason as to why they had the Goonkler moment?
Bash my head over cameras.
Regulatory issues. Urias has faced multiple regulatory fines and legal battles. Getting
Fucking
involved with them could mean getting entangled in a web of
Sanity, pause. They've had multiple fucking were they committing tax evasion? No, guys. Moment of Sanity should not be involved with Urias because, as you can see, they have had fucking tax evasion claims. No.
God damn, I guess I'll have to stay away from them now. They apparently have claims of tax evasion now. Holy shit.
Partnership. Number 3, inconsistent quality. Moments for Saint is known for premium quality. Urias, not so much.
Also, the music is drowning the voice out.
Yeah, the music is like overpowering the voice as well.
I was gonna mention audio
AI does not
balancing.
know what the fuck is going on here. What is this audio balancing?
Yeah.
It's much like the fucking Fallout Asphalt trailer that got leaked. The
Yeah.
fucking audio balancing is fucking barely existent.
Who was behind that, by the way? Was that Ashfall dude?
Apparently both. No, it wasn't Ashfall dude. It was created by All Out Monty and Chris Gray. It was a joint effort, and the main thing is that it was rejected purely because the visuals and the audio quality were fucking dog shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think Ashfall dude would fucking let something like that fly because of how shit it was.
High standards your customers expect and love. Number 2, brand
Customers.
identity. Working
Okay.
with Urias could dilute moments for Saint's strong brand identity. Their weak market position could overshadow your brand's strengths. You've worked hard to build your brand. Don't let it fade.
Okay, what is even going on in this video anymore?
And finally,
My
number
brain
8,
hurt.
consumer trust. Trust is crucial in today's market. Urias' track record
Fuck's sake.
of breaking consumer trust is alarming. Your audience deserves better, and so do you. So there you have it, folks. 10 compelling reasons to avoid Urias.
Did they even hang on. Did they even, like, watch it before okaying the upload of this?
I'm beginning to think
Probably
not.
not.
I don't think so. Oh my god. Is Urias in the room with us right now? How's it going, everybody? Isaac Clarke from Dead Space here. So, yeah, once again, I'm talking about Shadow Raven Studios. I know, it's a bit exhausting having, like 3 different update videos within the span of, like, the last 2 weeks. Well, actually, at this point, it would be 4, wouldn't it? With this video included. You know what, you get the point. It's kind of exhausting having so many different update videos, but of course when you're dealing with someone who seems to be dead set on trying to make himself look as stupid as possible at every single possible turn, you kind of have to try and make sure that you have as much of this shit documented as humanly possible, while also perpetually reminding said individual of just how stupid they actually are. But of course, before we get into the actual main topic of this video, there's a few little updates that I need to, you know, kind of bring up here, because of course there's a bunch of different updates that I have to go into. So now there's currently 2 new SRS archive channels. There's SRS Archive number 2, which I think is run by the same exact person who ran the first archive channel, and then of course there's SRS Archive 3, which is run by a completely different person to my knowledge. And one thing that I have to thank SRS Archive 3 for is, of course, saving the final, like, cope video that Shadow Raven decided to, like, make on me before he decided to nuke all of his old videos and hardwire shill for his, like, weird Nexus mods knockoff. Which was, of course, a video that is titled The Final Self-Destruction of Moment of Sanity, which is a bitterly ironic title, as you'll see when we actually get into it. But there's a few other things that apparently SRS Archive 3 had also documented, which is, of course, well, apparently Shadow Raven deciding to, well, like, email the guy and send him, like, this weird, like, voice message as well, which I find to be extremely funny. Like, we're gonna be getting into that one because I genuinely think it's probably one of the most hilarious things ever, and it's so unbelievably sad, okay? And of course the main reason why why I didn't even include this within like a live stream or anything like that is because, well, it's a short enough video that it probably wouldn't even warrant that much of a segment to begin with. So that's why it's mainly being relegated to this particular video, where I actually decide to cover it. So of course there's the screenshot here of, well, the actual Shadow Raven email over here, obviously with stuff censored so that way people don't like go and look for this guy or anything along those lines. And, well, if you still don't believe that apparently this is like, you know, Shadow Raven himself, of course you can see that there is an audio clip attached, which I find extremely funny. We're going to be getting into that particular, you know, audio clip right here and delivering my own thoughts on it. So, roll the clip.
Now you listen to me, you fucking piece of shit. This is gonna stop, because what you're doing is going too far. This is gonna stop right now. You keep going with this, things are gonna happen.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You gotta love it when this guy quite literally decides to threaten violence within the same exact breath as stating that apparently people are going too far by deciding to document his weird-ass shenanigans. It's so fucking hilarious. It is genuinely fucking hilarious that this guy is just going out of his way and just, you know, pulling this kind of stuff, like, in the same exact breath as well. Like, you can't make this shit up.
I will pull your IP address, and I will turn you into the authorities. Because what you're doing right now, it does constitute as harassment. So, you're gonna desist right now, you little bitch.
Jesus Christ, archival now counts as harassment. Well, once again, in the same exact breath, threatening to apparently pull somebody's IP address to report them to the authorities for what exactly? Like, I'm genuinely wondering, how does archival count as harassment? Hell, how does what I'm doing count as harassment? Literally, all I've been doing is documenting just how stupid you've been over the past, like, how many months at this point? Probably, like, almost half a year at this point. Like, you've been doing this shit for half a fucking year. Like, of course I'm gonna be documenting just how silly you've been because, well, at this point, I would call you a thorn in my side, but at least a thorn in my side would actually fucking hurt, you know?
Or things will happen to you. Really bad things will happen to you. Guarantee it. So, try to keep going with this, bitch. Because if you keep going with this, you're gonna be a dead motherfucker.
You just, I'm sorry, but I just simply have to point out the still lack of any amount of fucking confidence that this man has whenever he tries to speak. Like, whenever he tries to, like, insult somebody or call them, like, a bitch or something like that, there's, like, that brief, like, split second of hesitation before he, like, spits it out. It's like his mother is listening in and he's not allowed to swear. Like, it's so fucking weird.
But what's gonna happen to you is only gonna happen to you when you're the next prison bitch sitting in jail. You wanna try me on that? Go ahead. Because you're treading on really hot water right now, bitch.
But, yeah, that's basically kind of where that entire clip ends. That is basically the threat that he had decided to send towards Shadow Raven Studios Archive 3, for whatever reason. Probably because of the fact that, well, he uploaded his final meltdown against me before he nuked everything to rebrand into a shilling YouTube channel. But of course, that's not the main point of this video, right? That was just the end of the major updates that ended up happening. Well, other than All Out Monty deciding to nuke the second How to Exist channel for whatever reason, because apparently he forgot that it happened in a live stream that had the live chat also on screen. so that way it was all recorded. I don't know what else to say here, buddy, but you're just really fucking stupid. Because I know that you're watching this shit all out, and I know that you're watching this shit as well, you know, Mr. Raven, or Mike, as apparently your name is, but I prefer calling you Shadow Ravens, that way you know just how stupid your edgy-ass name actually is. But that's not the point of today's video. The point of today's video is to go over a video that I completely neglected to even go over, because, well, back then I wanted the situation to end. Back then I didn't really anticipate it to continue onwards. Back then I was literally thinking that it was probably going to be, at most, maybe like a month-long situation, and then we would all move on with our lives as if nothing fucking happened. But apparently this man is dead set on trying to keep this shit going for whatever fucking reason, and of course, that is where we actually get into his final cope video that, well, I feel like covering because of just how silly it is. So without any further ado, let us get into supposedly the final self-destruction of me, as he decided to label it.
So it seems like I'm back in the frickin' building again, as Eggman would say, with talking about Shadow Raven Studios. Now, of course, I will in fact admit, I wanted my previous video to actually be my last video on this man. But of course, well, he wanted to try and jam his fingers in between the pages in order to try and keep this shit going.
Oh ho ho! But I thought you said the last video that you made was gonna be the last one about me.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Raven. Well, at this point, probably 2 months later, but Thunderstruck already had you beat with that entire joke. In fact, that joke is kind of probably still going because of just how much documentation I've had to pull on your ass. But, yeah, at this point, I'm kind of tired of even calling this, like, the last video, because at this point, I know it's not going to be the last video. Not until you, I guess, eventually just kind of give up on this, which I kind of half hope that you do and half hope that you don't. I half hope that you do because, honestly, it does, in fact, just get exhausting after a while. Because, and I would expect that it would just be exhausting for you as well, because you keep on making yourself look silly at every turn. But, like, I half hope that you don't, because I kind of want you to keep going with this. I kind of want you to keep making yourself look stupid. Like, it's weird. It's like a paradox, if you will. Like, it's like Schrodinger's idiot, I guess, or whatever it is.
Well, you lied about that, jackass. Well, I'll be honest on one thing. It's dipshits like you that is the gift that keeps on giving, because it wasn't for idiots like you, us anti-woke creators wouldn't be able to continue making content about you idiots.
Once again, bitterly ironic for you to state this because, well, wouldn't you believe it, but I kind of, and this is something that I really find funny, but you're kind of one of the biggest reasons as to why my channel has kind of had this bit of, like, exponential growth as of late, because, well, if it weren't for you and your goons being so unbelievably stupid, I probably wouldn't have even documented your ass. I probably wouldn't have been discovered by a significantly larger creator than even me, and I probably wouldn't have even gotten shouted out or even recognized in the first place. I probably would have stayed at, like, maybe, I don't know, about, like, 1.5 thousand subscribers. I probably wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for you, actually. You're actually the gift that keeps on giving because, well, you're the main reason why at this point I have a constant flow of content.
But there is a reason I am making this follow-up video regarding the video I made about Fallout Ashfall. However, this is going to be the video that's going to put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and wouldn't you believe it, but this just so happened to be the video that put the final nail within his coffin. Before he, I guess, decided to, like, show up or whatever. I have absolutely no idea. It's kind of weird to try and get into, but whatever, you get my point. Jesus fucking Christ. You know what? I might as well just quickly fix up your intro real quick. Hang on. Editor, do you mind, like, trying to figure out a way to fix this goober's intro? Oh, you do, in fact, have a fix. Okay, quickly roll it. Yeah, I think that's a significantly better intro for you, buddy.
Hello, gents and ladies. Before I begin, I just want to say this is going to be another video I'm making that's not going to have any gameplay in the background, but I want to show you guys something real quick. It has to do with my new Fallout Ashfall video.
We're going to be skipping over this entire segment right here because it's mainly just him jerking off the fact that the video ended up getting, you know, more than 50% likes. Because as you can see right here, all of the videos, except for maybe the video on Alyssa Mercant, probably because Alyssa Mercant is already just kind of like a universal punching bag anyways, pretty much got, like, it pretty much has, like, less than, like, 80% fucking, like to dislike ratios. Hell, his fucking Dragon Age Dreadwolf video is in, like, the 40%, and all of his others are, like ranging from, like, 70 to 50% like to dislike. Like... He's literally just flexing over the fact that his videos aren't, like, getting fucking obliterated in terms of likes to dislikes. Well, I guess not innately obliterated, I should probably say. So, I mean, I guess good for you for managing to actually get over 50% likes and dislikes on your most recent video about Fallout Ashfall, at least before you decide to delete it for whatever reason. I wonder why.
It is very important that we continue to share this video around and to continue to gatekeep the modding community in the Gamergate 2 war.
Okay, so this is something that my friend Game Penguin brought up, but the entire idea of, like, gatekeeping the modding community is just kind of innately, like, a destructive kind of thing, to put it very simply. Like, really, I think that the only kind of, like, gatekeeping that we should really do whenever it comes to modding is, like, obviously, you know, gatekeeping out the kinds of people who mod in, like, really weird and borderline illegal shit within, like, games and whatnot, or, like, the sad, sensitive little pussies that can't seem to stand rainbows existing in games for whatever reason. Like, those are the kinds of people that I would be glad to just kind of, like, get rid of, because honestly, they're pretty much border between, like, just sad and pathetic to just genuinely the kinds of people that should probably have their drives checked, if you will. But, you know, I guarantee you the main people that he wants to try and gatekeep out are, like, well, pretty much every other modder that isn't, like, a sad crybaby like he is.
So in this video, there was a lot I have to go over and a lot I gotta cover, but to start things off, I'm just gonna start out with the obvious.
Apparently Shadow Raven Studios ended up actually leaving the Fallout Ashfall server on his own after revealing who the anonymous tip individual was.
And that was a big mistake on my part, which I'll own up to.
It's so funny how within this video, this is, like, the only thing that he actually decides to own up to in terms of a mistake that he apparently did, which I assume is him revealing who the anonymous tip individual was. Yet, for some reason, he is still completely unable to, like, own up to the fact that, well, he, or at least his friend, quite literally, like, inadvertently admitted that the Sexy Girl Hentai Video 27 actually existed. So there's a possibility that that video actually did in fact fucking exist and was uploaded to YouTube. And he also doesn't own up to the fact that he's still apparently trying to call me a groomer over very, very silly things, mind you, which we'll be getting into within this video. This is, of course, the video where I got some of the screenshots, I believe, that he attempted to, like, show off within, like, you know, to try and, like, prove that I'm, like, some sort of, like, a groomer or something along those lines that I showed off within the final debate video.
But what I want to know is, why are you bringing this up now? Especially when you said this in your previous video.
This anonymous tip individual, which I can only guarantee is probably just him on a different account, let's be honest here, decide to make shit up and just feed it to you.
Oh, but what's this? Oh, now you're showing that you lied in your video.
Holy shit, I'm not allowed to make jokes anymore, guys. Guys, apparently me making a joke about how these guys seem to have very similar ideals and seem to both be about as dumb as they, basically sound, mind you. Apparently, I'm not allowed to make any jokes anymore, guys. Apparently that counts as me lying for whatever reason. But you want to know why I only just recently decided to bring any of that stuff up? Because it was around then in which I actually discovered, you know, who the anonymous tip individual was. I wasn't given the screenshots of any of that until then. Like, I was pretty certain that maybe this anonymous tip individual was in fact like a different person. I just made a joke based off of the fact that you both seem fucking stupid and you both seem to get angry at the exact same things, which is, of course, bisexuals existing, trans people existing, and apparently getting mad over a bad dragon collection for whatever reason. Like, I don't know. It's just so unbelievably silly. But again, I guess according to Shadow Raven, you're not allowed to make any jokes, otherwise he's going to apparently take it 100% seriously. Which I guess just comes as no fucking surprise.
Now I just want to show something to everyone real quick. If I go here and then I go to switch accounts, as you can see clearly, this is the only account I've ever owned on Discord, dipshit. Unfortunately, however, this does come with a little bit of bad news. It has to do with the Burner58 account, and trust me, there is a reason I'm bringing this up, and he just gave me more ammunition. Trust me, gents and ladies. this will be important for me to mention.
But as you can see here, Account Burner 58. Does that name sound familiar? Well, it should, because wouldn't you believe it, but it's that same account that I showed off within that community post, because the Burner 58 account was literally just me the entire time. And it was so unbelievably easy to catch this man hook, line, and sinker. In fact, as you can see right here, here's my DM correspondence with Mr. Raven himself. And as you can see here, here is all of the screenshots that I sent him as, quote, proof. I still am very proud of this entire sting operation that I pulled on him. But just wait, because he's about to try and pull off some extreme fucking levels of copium to try and prove that he wasn't an idiot that fell for the most obvious bait. Get ready, guys.
Wow. What an asshole. Wow, dude. Just wow. You're a real piece of shit, you know that? You are a real piece of shit. You're willing to go this low and this far? You know this is greatly going to discredit you now after what you did here, because what you did was scummy, it was deceiving for another thing, and it's just shitty. Dude, you're a real piece of shit. Shit, I mean, dude, even one of your own viewers didn't even know it was you.
Oh boy. Well, allow me to just quickly point out a few things, first of all. First of all, I find it funny that you apparently consider a sting operation extremely shitty when, well, your goons quite literally admitted to apparently trying to pull a sting operation. Well, I'm putting that in huge quotation marks because according to, Ashfall Dude, it wasn't even that much of a sting operation, but apparently, pulling a sting operation like this to expose you as just someone who's willing to believe literally fucking anything at face value is apparently shitty and deceiving for whatever reason. Like, I just don't even get it. But on top of that, too, the point of the sting operation was for people to not know that it was me. Like, literally the only people who knew that it was me was mainly just kind of like my close friends, who, mind you, didn't know that it was me until I exposed it to them, which they were able to just keep it under wraps, mind you. And of course, the entire point was also for you to not know that it was me. If you knew that it was me, the sting operation would have failed. Like, do you not know how a sting operation actually works? Does this man even know what the fuck he's talking about? But also, let me quickly read out the comment that he shows off here from my friend Kem, where Kem says, "Don't feel bad, I didn't know Burner was Sandy at first either, but that just means he really knew what he was doing. You're careless. You slipped and fell in the bathtub and made a complete fool of yourself. He even demonstrated that you like deep and compelling research by ignorantly saying that Burner is insanity without even watching the video that confirms that they are one and the same. This is just sad. You need to learn to cut your losses and move on." Which is, of course, very eloquently said there, Cam. I have to say that you are very good with words. That's all I can really say. But like, I just simply have to state here that this man is pulling some, like, insane mental gymnastics here. You could hear this shit. That he's apparently trying to twist this around of me being smart enough to completely dupe him into apparently me being a scummy and duplicitous individual that apparently is now discredited because I discredited him by duping him with a fake account. Do I even need to explain?
But yet he sits here and criticizes me? He's a fucking hypocrite.
I don't even think you know what the definition of hypocrite is, you fucking doofus.
Well, if you didn't know who Burner 58 really was, and anyone else didn't know, then obviously I'm not gonna know either, idiot.
Guess what? That was the point.
Oh, trust me, gents and ladies, this shit show gets even better, and it gets even more scummier too, because there's more shit I found out.
Now, on top of that too, you're probably wondering to yourself, well, how exactly are those screenshots actually faked?
Well, I can prove it to you.
But I ended up getting some help here from, what's his face? Mr. Ashfall Dude here. And as you can see right here, yep, here it is. Here's the correspondence that you guys need. Ashfall Dude here set this shit up, and it ended up fucking working, surprisingly enough.
You're an asshole!
What a punk.
How dare you do my boy Dante dirty like that? Jesus Christ. Honestly, you wish that you were Dante, but unfortunately Dante is 100 times the man that you will ever be.
Well, yeah, there you have it, gents and ladies. Yeah. These two guys, this Ashfall Dude and this Moment of Sanity dipshit, they're real fucking scumbags.
Wow, once again, apparently we're scumbags because we basically managed to expose him as a fucking liar. I feel like I don't even have to explain anything anymore regarding this entire segment. So, yeah, the levels of cope here are absolutely fucking insane, and you guys kind of now know why I wanted to actually get this video, because I remember it distinctly being this fucking hilarious.
What these guys did was really unethical. It was shitty. And these guys are real pieces of shit. Yeah, these two guys are fucking scumbags. Well, at least you admitted one thing. You lie about nearly everyone and nearly everything when it comes to your shit video content. You're just a piece of shit, dude.
Oh my fucking god. How is me using this account to kind of parade around and also make up random shit about myself? Apparently me admitting that I lie about people. What the fuck does that even mean? Again, you do understand the point of the account was to trick you, right? Right? Did you not? Are you not picking up on this?
And everyone who is a diehard fan, that is the loyal fans, not these tourists who are coming into the Fallout community, but the loyal fans in the Fallout community, they even know how much of a piece of shit both you and Ashfall Dude really are.
I fucking hate these idiots that try to gatekeep like gaming communities by saying that some people just aren't real fans of certain things, when in reality they're probably either like new to the community or probably just really play the game casually and aren't like hardcore dedicated fans. Like, I really just don't even understand the point, because again, I have to bring up something the Game Penguin brought up within the live stream that also covered this video. Like, the quote tourists that you're bringing up here pretty much make up like the majority of a fucking community. Like, people that are new or people that are just kind of like getting into it are the biggest part of any fucking community, and trying to gatekeep them out of it is pretty much a surefire way to kill any fucking community within the span of a week.
And I'll just be more than gladly to show everyone what I'm talking about. Honestly, if those were my kids you were trying to groom and trying to show them and expose them to all this woke and LGBTQ, this far left LGBTQ dog shit, this is what I would do to your fucking ass.
I will kick the living shit out of you!
Holy shit, you would devolve into violence like a fucking caveman? Why am I not surprised? Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, poor widow moment of sanity. What, are you gonna cry? Are your fifis hurt because I use slurs and tough words?
No, I know you're probably not going to respect this, Shadow Raven, considering, well, once again, you know, you obviously fucking hate me. But, like, you don't have to be so formal with my name. You could just call me Sanity. Like, bro, it's really not that difficult. But on top of that, too, that entire point of me showing that off and basically just, you know, making the passing jab of, wow, you devolve into violence like a moron, was to basically show off that you really had nothing else going for you other than tough words. Like, you're just an internet tough guy. Nobody takes you seriously. In fact, please, keep throwing out insults and slurs like a fucking doofus. Just keep doing that, because it's just giving me more ammunition to prove that you're not as tough as you really are.
Well, don't be a groomer then, bitch, because groomers get the wood chipper.
There he is, once again threatening violence against me because I'm supposedly a, quote, groomer. And trust me, we'll be getting into some of that. He doesn't get into it immediately, despite bringing this up now, but once we get into it, you'll realize just how goofy this fucking claim of me apparently being a groomer apparently is. It's so stupid.
And I know you're a groomer. I know it, because I saw it all over your Twitter page. But that's not what I wanted to show. Well, not yet. I'll just get to that later, but this is what I really wanted to show.
As you can see here, he is very upset that some of the modders are not happy with his weird political backstory.
I think I'll just be completely honest right here. This is probably the only thing that I'm actually going to be taking a look at here. This seems more like a fucking joke to me. Like, very fucking obviously supposed to be a joke that is meant to piss off people like Shadow Raven Studios here.
Dude, what a fucking idiot! Dude, this guy is a fucking moron! Oh my god! You dipshit! It is actually from a Discord server, you dumbass!
That wasn't what I fucking said! I never said that the screenshot was fake! Hell, I quite literally went in with the anticipation that it was in fact real. In fact, I didn't even know that the screenshot was fake until, well, I did a live stream covering this video, which Ashfall Dude basically pointed out, hey, by the way, this screenshot is fake as fuck, which, you know, was of no surprise to me. But the thing is that, like, how could you possibly see a screenshot like this and fucking take it seriously, especially with that last line? Like, that last line came across as more or less just like a fucking, like, jab to try and piss you off, which Well, once you believe it, it ended up fucking working, funnily enough. You're trying to claim that I said that this screenshot was fake. No, I never claimed that.
It has a timestamp on it. It has a date. It is not a fake screenshot. It is real. And Iranian is not even on your side, dipshit.
Okay, and I never claimed that he was? Once again, you're just like putting words into my mouth, dude.
Gents, ladies, I just cannot contain myself with how stupid this guy is. I literally just want to fall all in my chair, just laughing my fucking ass off at this dipshit.
Well, if only you actually would, but I know that whatever emotions that you may have, they just don't actually exist anymore because you sold your soul to being anti-woke. Meanwhile, I've actually fallen out of my chair laughing at just how stupid you genuinely are. On quite a number of occasions, actually. Once, when you decided to claim everything was apparently a joke.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. We have the screenshots. We caught your ass in 4K.
You take all text messages seriously? Dude, that was a bait.
And then a second time when you decide to, well, block me on Twitter, at least before you nuked your Twitter account. And then here I am, just...
Who do not want the woke agenda like this.
Scab the board.
Anyway, let's get back to this.
Oh my god, he blocked me! No way! He fucking blocked me!
And then probably a few more times after that, probably during the debate, the last debate a couple times. And then, well, after I found out that you nuked your fucking channel after uploading some sort of weird fucking hentai video, I mean, there's just so many hilarious fucking events that it's just so difficult to not laugh at you.
But now I want to get serious this time. And I want to show everyone just how much of a degenerate piece of shit Moment of Sanity really is. And I'm going to do that by going to his Twitter page and show you what he's been up to. Right now I'm on the Moment of Sanity's Twitter page, and as you can see clearly, he has Fallout Ashfall listed as a follower. But if you scroll down a little further, Fresh Your Mama is also a follower, but he's only 17 years old.
Guys, is it apparently bad that minors follow me on Twitter when I don't even post anything NSFW, and the worst that I've actually decided to post is probably, well, it's probably just like gifs of like fucking Faith or something like that. That's probably like the only bad thing, but of course that's, again, from like a video game that is mostly just rotoscope animations that aren't even that bad. Like, I just, what is this fucking logic of his?
But if you go down even more, oh, trust me, there's more, gents and ladies. There's a 15-year-old right here, and there's a 16-year-old right here. Just like the screenshot showed, which I showed in my Ashfall video. It's no lie. Now I'm taking a look at his followings, and as you can see already, a 16-year-old is following Moment of Sanity, and keep in mind...
Once again, I usually just like follow people that I think are cool, usually post like some good art, or just kind of like, again, they're just usually like chill people that like I just find to be really cool. And hell, sometimes I'll just like follow people back, but apparently this means that I'm like a groomer or something. Okay. And how is this proof? I really don't understand it, but it just gets goofier from here, okay? Just prepare thyselves.
And as you can see already, it's nothing but LGBTQ stuff.
Guys, it's so bad that I follow people who are within the LGBT community. Guys, pack it up. It's Jover. I'm dead. I've been exposed for being gay. I've been exposed, guys. Wrap it up. I'm a woke content creator. I'm washed.
There we go. The Fallout Ashfall official page is also following Moment of Sanity. But this is the main thing that concerns me the most, is what he is sharing on his Twitter page. And I'll just say this. Anything that you share onto your own page, whether you're sharing it from someone else, or if you're making a post on your own, anyone who is following you, it's going to appear right into their feed. and they can see it in plain sight of view, even if you're a minor, which I find pretty much all of these screenshots that I took, they're actually inappropriate for minors to be looking at. In fact, you have no business posting this kind of shit if you have minors who are following you.
Now, let me just quickly let you know, first of all, these are retweets, not posts, but whatever, I guess, you're... Well, I would call you a bird brain, but I think that would be offensive to birds. But on top of that, too, again, how is this bad? How is this grooming? Like, I think probably the worst thing up there is just Bunlith's tweet of nice cock. That's it. That is the worst that's up there. Everything else is just like... How is this fucking evidence?
That's called grooming, buddy. And that's what you're exactly doing with your Twitter post, is grooming. Because these minors who are following you can see it into their own feeds. Oh, but this is the only lame excuse you can come up with. This guy is just pathetic.
And of course, here's my DM correspondence with Freshio Mama, as you can see right here. Nothing really crazy happened here other than just sharing information and making fun of everyone that's on Mr. Raven's side here.
And you just completely missed my point onto this.
Okay, and what exactly was your point here? That was literally just me showing off that nothing really happens. Like, all that happened was just, like, us memeing around and sharing information about what we knew about this goober. Like, I just... You know, it's very difficult having to deal with somebody who lacks 90% of their brain.
Well, allow me to spell it out for you. It doesn't fucking matter if nothing happened between the two of you. You're an adult. You're a legal adult. You're 20 fucking years old.
Yeah, and guess what? Even though I am an adult, I'm still able to at least be respectful and not be weird around children. Which is apparently something during this year it is very difficult for content creators to fucking do nowadays. Like, what is wrong with people? I don't fucking get it. But, like, I don't again, I still don't get your fucking point. And you shouting into your fucking microphone and blowing out everybody's speakers doesn't really help your point either.
For you to have common interests with them is not an excuse. Or if they're just cool, is not an excuse. What you are doing is really weird.
I mean, let's put it this way. It's really only weird if you decide to make it weird. Like, that's really all I have to say about it. Again, I'm able to just, like, hold conversations with really anybody and just be respectful and just treat them like a human being.
And a lot of normal people, that is the people who actually have morals, would see what you're doing is weird.
If we're gonna be taught about, like, people having morals, you would be the last person on that entire list. When whatever deity in the sky was giving out morality, you weren't there for that. Same thing when the day came for people to actually get brains. You were just absent on both of those days. Because we're going to be talking about morality here, well, I think probably one of the most immoral things that you can do, especially after getting called out for being fucking stupid and acting like a moron and screaming about, like, you know, like minorities existing in video games, the least moral thing that you could possibly do is quite literally go around and try to strike down videos and work together with people to strike down videos that are calling your ass out. That's probably one of the most morally lacking things that somebody could actually fucking do, mind you. I understand that you just don't understand that. If we're going to be talking about fucking intelligence, again, shall I bring back up Burner 58?
This is immoral as fuck, what you're doing here. I'm just gonna make this strong point. What do you think Chris Hansen would do?
Jesus fucking Christ. I think at least this might just be me talking, but I think, like, depending on which version of Chris Hansen you're thinking about, whether you're thinking about the one, you know, before he decided to cast away his integrity, I think that old Chris Hansen would definitely be at least semi-proud of me, especially for pulling off a sting operation that was pretty successful, mind you. And if we're going to be talking about new Chris Hansen, well, I don't think he would actually give a shit about any of this. Like, that's basically it. But that's going to be the end of this video. The rest of it is, well, just another long-ass yap session. And I don't really think that I want to subject you guys anymore to any more of, like, Shadow Raven's weird copium-fueled nonsense.
Hey, dudes. It's me, Soos from Gravity Falls. Octoa, spit on that thing.
How's it going, everybody? The screams of the tortured souls here. So yes, I'm making another update video on Shadow Raven Studios. I know, it's pretty crazy, but of course, it's not just going to be about Shadow Raven Studios here, because I have at least one update from a certain individual that I brought up back in the second episode of the second season, if you will. The Sneedclave Anonymous guy I have some updates on. Even though I already did an entire livestream going over the DM conversation, I feel like at least going over some of the highlights around here. Now, of course, this video was originally going to be me also going over the DM conversations that my friend Domino ended up having with Shadow Raven, but I think I'd rather leave that to the actual head of that operation, which is of course Domino themselves, so I'll leave a link to their video in the description below if you want the actual in-depth explanation as to what happened behind there and what was revealed. But this is mainly going to be about the Sneedclave Anonymous individual, who apparently is unbelievably stupid, and is also extremely confident that apparently, you know, people just won't believe me for whatever reason. He has an insane ego, as we'll actually get into this. It's genuinely fucking insane. But, the main highlights here, of course, the start, where he basically sends me a massive wall of fucking text. A wall of text so massive that I couldn't even fit it into one screenshot, mind you, so there's that. Then, of course, there's the entire thing of me bringing up the fact that he apparently thinks that I'm alt-right, despite the fact that I, you know, am not. Like, my audience is very pro-trans, I myself am very pro-trans. Like, if I was alt-right, then I wouldn't be fruitier than the fucking produce section, but of course this man will just believe anything because, well, according to him, his anonymous source tells him, and also according to him, whenever he's asked for evidence by me directly, he just says that he doesn't need to show anything to me. Yeah, it's about as dumb as it sounds. On top of that, too, there's also the entire thing where he apparently thinks that me apparently having a verification system in my server is apparently homophobic because I wouldn't let in some random motherfucker into the server for whatever reason. Or I guess I just didn't let them in immediately and they never bothered to actually contact me asking me why they weren't let in. I don't even know what this man's logic really is. It's genuinely bizarre, to put it very simply. There was also this one particular point where he apparently thinks that Ashfall Dude is a fake Fallout fan because he wouldn't add the Enclave into Fallout Ashfall for whatever reason. Despite the fact, and not even I really knew about this until Ashfall Dude himself actually brought this up to me, but the fucking Enclave got nuked in the second game, so there's really no reason for it to even exist in Ashfall, let alone even New Vegas, which is probably why it doesn't even exist in fucking New Vegas. But then, of course, I start grilling him on the fact that he thinks that SRS is apparently some sort of LGBT left-wing ally, and, you know, he apparently thinks that he's left-wing and a LGBTQ ally, all because apparently SRS was just nice to him, I guess. Which is just absolutely fucking stupid. So then I send him the clip of that one No Man's Sky live stream where, well, SRS is brought on for the first debate in which he just outright called me the F-slur.
You're a bitch. Faggot.
Meanwhile, oh, there we go! There's the slurs! There's the slurs!
In which apparently he had two very different defenses. The first one was that apparently it was AI generated, which it wasn't, and the second one was apparently that it was staged. And apparently this is something that was told to him by the Ashfall devs, which I assume are also part of this Confederation as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Confederation is also telling him this information, so there you go. I just found that to be pretty interesting. But I feel like I might as well just disprove both of those weird-ass fucking allegations right there. First of all, how in the fuck could it be AI generated? Unless there are AI generated live streams I just don't know about yet, I don't really think I would have been able to accidentally pull off the first AI generated live stream. But of course, to disprove the stage thing, again, the title of the fucking stream was No Man's Sky. I had made the stream initially to play No Man's Sky. I was not planning for Gooberton to suddenly show up and decide to start throwing metaphorical hands towards me and then get fucking obliterated by, like, myself and 3 others. But of course, it starts devolving very quickly where he apparently just starts, you know, having some sort of massive god complex, apparently tries to goad me into, I guess, like, making shit up about Ashfall Dude by apparently stating that Crimson Gray will shout me out on his dying voice acting channel, which, I mean, yeah, sure, I'm sure all 200 200 subscribers are definitely going to give me the extra viewership. Jesus fucking Christ, this is a level of stupidity I didn't even think was possible. But of course, after I just kind of stopped taking him seriously, and after I stopped responding to him, he eventually just kind of blocks me, and that's just kind of where it ends. But yeah, that's effectively the main highlights. And for any of the archive channels, and I might as well say a few things to the archive channels right now if they're watching, which I know that they are, if you want the full chat logs, just go ahead and hit me up on Discord or something like that. My name on Discord is the exact same as on YouTube. It's not really that hard to find, and I'll send you pretty much every single screenshot that I could basically get of the entire conversation. Be warned, it's a fucking lot. It is a lot. But of course, another message to the archive channels, just in case they didn't exactly see my community post that I made, which is of course this. Go ahead and archive my shit. I genuinely do not give a damn. Because unlike SRS, I actually have integrity, morals, and the ability to give a fuck when it actually matters. Hell, go ahead and start, like, archiving that stuff onto your channels now for all I care. Like, it's really not gonna be my fucking problem. But now that we are finally done with all of that, we now can finally get into, well, what I originally wanted to actually get into, which is, of course, well, this weird, I guess, like, podcast thing that apparently SRS is trying to do on his Rumble account now. There's a couple of unique videos that I want to go over on his Rumble, but I mainly wanted to start off with the podcast, largely because, well, not only is that the first one chronologically, but it also completely debunks a lot of stuff within the second video, which I'll have to save for, well, once again, a later video, so mainly so that way this video isn't already bogged down enough as it already is. So yeah, effectively it was called like Nexus Mods Fanboys or something like that. I genuinely cannot give a damn what it was actually called, but of course it was uploaded and archived as you need to see this.mp4, and it's silly as hell, so all I can really say here is just prepare your brain cells. We're not going to go through the entire 30 minutes of it because honestly, I don't think we have the brain capacity for anything like that. So we're just going to mainly go through some of the highlights of like maybe like the first 5 or 7 minutes. So let's go.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the DLC Fun Radio Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, also known as Shadow Raven. It is Saturday, September 21st at 4:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time prior to when I recorded this podcast. So today, in this first episode of this podcast, I want to warn everyone of the lies, the deception, and the defaming dishonesty of the Nexus Mods fanboys.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Now, here's the thing that I already know, mainly because I pre-watched this already. He does, in fact, bring up me, Xander Hall, and basically everybody else that was part of the first schism, the first season of this entire situation, if you will. And so that also includes, like, the Schlumpo and, like, a few others, as well as, like, some goobers that I really don't even remember the names of. If any names that I recognize come across, I'll probably try to explain any of my affiliation with them as much as possible, but anyways, I might as well just kind of explain this right now, because apparently it seems like his main war right now is largely just with Nexus Mods for whatever reason. He's uploaded like a few videos onto his Rumble channel about like Nexus Mods and its like weird schisms that it's apparently experienced and whatever else, trying to explain away people literally getting banned for breaking TOS for whatever reason, which is unbelievably fucking stupid, and I cannot believe that we actually have somebody who is this mad at fucking TOS, which I guess we shouldn't really be too surprised of. See his first Fallout Ashwell video that I decided to dunk on. But anyways, I feel like I might as well just mention this. I don't really give a shit about Nexus Mods, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I literally only have, like, an account there, largely because I think, like, an artist that I was following decided to create, like, an Ultra Kill player models thing for, like, fucking Devil May Cry 5, and that's the only reason why I made an account, just so I could, like, download that and fuck around with it in Devil May Cry 5. That was literally about it. Beyond that, I really don't even give a shit about Nexus Mods, other than they're, like, pretty much one of the biggest, like, you know, mod hosting websites full of probably the most original mods, mind you, that I should probably bring up here.
This is a common thing they've been doing for years to different creators and mod authors who oppose their viewpoints. As it currently stands, I am facing false allegations and defamation of character from some of these Nexus Mods fanboys. The individuals I'm calling out personally are Moment of Sanity, the Schlumpo, Balor Toshi, and even Xanderhall.
Alright, I might as well just explain a lot of these. I pretty much know the Schlumpo very limited. Like, he hasn't really uploaded anything as of recently. Who knows, maybe this will spark his interest again, I'm not entirely sure. But outside of that, I think he's at least relatively chill. I mean, the meme format that he uses for his thumbnails is pretty funny. Xanderhall, I pretty much at least kind of am aware of him. Like, I just kind of find him to be a funny streamer, and that's kind of really about it. And on top of that too, I also have to thank him for kind of boosting my channel a little bit. I really cannot thank him enough for that. And of course, you also heard that I was included for whatever reason. Well, I think we actually already know the reason, largely because I genuinely at this point believe that I am the primary reason for his downfall.
There was also an individual who keeps stealing my brand name on YouTube. That is my old brand name, but he goes by the name of the Northern Sage on Discord.
Alright, I feel like I might as well mention this guy, because apparently this guy's name has been brought up a ton by this loser. Like, he's brought him up in like a couple of different community posts, which, speaking of which, I forgot to mention that there was one community post where he was apparently trying to LARP as like death itself for whatever reason, which is fucking stupid, I know. I just simply have to bring up this entire thing. I know next to nothing about the Northern Sage other than the fact that they may or may not even run like the first archive channel that existed, and now the second archive channel if it's still up. But like outside of that, I know next to nothing about the guy. The guy has never contacted me. The guy has never really talked to me directly. So for all intents and purposes, he's just kind of a mystery to me. So I don't really know that much.
Here's the common thing with these guys. They don't like competition. When there's a new modding website out there, they're gonna do whatever they can to attack it, to make up lies, to make up stories. They fabricate these lies to make the website look bad, which they are trying to do with DLC Fun. And Moment of Sanity has done that.
Holy shit, I might as well just mention this. Like I said before, I don't give a shit about Nexus mods. The only reason why I even looked into DLC Fun in the first place, which, if I figure out how fucking, like, video cards work, I'll probably have it show up in the corner as I mention this. But, like, the only reason why I looked into it in the first place is because a former friend of mine decided to bring it up to me, detailed some of the things that he found, and kind of urged me to look into it myself and to kind of make a video. Again, the only reason why I made a video is because I fucking found it extremely scummy that it was an entire website that was profiting off of stealing mods from Nexus mods and re-uploading them en masse.
But as for these other individuals, anyone who doesn't agree with their far-left viewpoints, they go off and attack them. And they go as far as to making up lies and stories, and they even commit defamation of character, which they are doing to me. Now, just for the record, I don't even know what lolly porn is. I never even heard of it.
Jesus fucking Christ, that was the most unbelievable. Like, come on, step up your acting game, buddy. That didn't even fool me. Like, come on. That literally came across as like a little kid who just got caught looking at the hub and is desperately trying their best to say, I don't know what this Pornhub thing is. Like, it just doesn't sound believable in the fucking slightest.
And just for the record, I'm just gonna put this out there right now. These incompetent buffoons who are making up these lies and these allegations, these false allegations, they are really, really stupid. They don't even know anything about me, and they don't know the kind of real art that I like. And I will let everyone know the kind of art that I really like. I am more into the AI female characters, and also the Panavision videos.
Jesus fucking Christ. We literally did not need to know, nor did, I guarantee you, nor did like the 70 followers that you decided to throw away your 1,000 subscribers and fall monetization for. I don't really think that they give a shit either about the fact that you like to jerk off to AI-generated women. Why would you even admit this? This is just embarrassing.
Oh, but let's not forget, this is coming from a bunch of groomers and a group of groomer apologists. And that is exactly what Moment of Sanity is doing on his Twitter page, or as they call it now, X. Because he has followings, and he is also following 15 and 16-year-olds. Meanwhile, he is sharing all of this pro-left LGBTQ stuff.
Again, I feel like I should just mention that this is literally his only evidence of me supposedly being a, quote, groomer, is because I have a following of minors, and I am pro-LGBT. You know that the word groomer has been watered down so much by idiots like this that official dictionaries have had to add in a brand new definition for it that is labeled as derogatory. That's really all I have to say about this.
And all this transgender stuff, which he has no business sharing with these minors. And they are also doing the same thing in the Fallout Asphalt server, which is a project for Fallout New Vegas. It's a big mod project. They have minors into that server who are using pronouns into their bios if you look into their profiles.
If I still had the video right now, I would definitely play the clip of fucking pronouns right now, because Jesus fucking Christ, there's no way a man could actually get this mad at the English language. You know what? For the next segment, I'm going to quickly add in a counter of how many pronouns he uses.
Yes, they really are in there, in that server, when they have no business being in there. And this has always been a thing with the Nexus staff, the moderators, and to an extent, even the members, but especially for the case for these Nexus Mods fanboys, who will do anything and go out on a whim to kiss the asses of these staff and moderators, and even these members, even though what they are doing on their website is completely wrong.
I really wonder what the counter's currently up to right now, but yeah, there was a lot of pronouns right there, buddy. Are you sure you're not going woke?
And I can even say, for the most part, their judgment stinks, and these guys are a lot like vampires in sunlight, because when you shed all of the corruption in the sunlight, they really hate it. They are very sensitive to it, and they don't take a liking to it at all.
I will take projection for 500. After all, you apparently are so vehement in taking down videos that you quite literally have stated that you want people to share around, mind you, that you're striking down archive channels and apparently also planning on potentially even striking down myself and Xanderhall for whatever reason, which I find to be extremely silly. Like, there's no way that you aren't someone who is just, like, pissed scared for whatever reason. Like, why are you so terrified of me and the archive channels? Why are you so scared of people archiving your stuff and showing it to the world? There has to be another reason why you're this terrified, buddy.
And they will indeed go out and attack you, and I am not the only person they have done this to. They have done this to other mod authors. But yet, these Nexus fanboys, they don't give a shit about that. They only care about their own narcissism and their own narrative. That is the only thing they ever give a shit about.
Do I even really have to say anything about this one other than this is just pure fucking projection? Or can I just move on to the next fucking part of this entire fuck-ass podcast episode and just leave it at that?
I'm even surprised Xanderhall jumped in on making the false allegations and also defaming my name. Yeah. I didn't realize how much of a scumbag this guy is. Yeah, this guy is a real scumbag.
I feel like I should just mention that it was confirmed by one of your boys that, well, wouldn't you believe it, the Sexy Girl Hentai Video 27 did in fact actually exist. If you don't believe me, here was All Out Monty's response to when I brought up that video title. Yep. So, yeah, you're really not getting away from this one, buddy.
And now that I'm bringing all of this up, there is someone I wanted to mention, and that is Destructor, which is a YouTube content creator.
Why in the fuck are you bringing up Destructor? He literally couldn't give a shit less about this entire situation. Why are you bringing him into this one? You know what, fuck it, let's hear him out. Let's see what in the hell he has a problem with when it comes to fucking Destructor. You know, the guy who literally documents predators.
I find it very ironic. He is making videos. He's always making videos about certain creators who are pedophiles, yet he goes out on a whim to defend these groomers and these groomer apologists. And after a discussion I had with him on Discord about how I confronted Xanderhall and Moment of Sanity, even Senru, I lost a lot of trust in the guy, and I had to eventually unfriend him from Discord. I just lost all of my trust, and I have good reasons to. Because I believe this guy is a double agent.
Oh my fucking god. You know what, out of all the people that you've decided to call a double agent over like the past like month or so, I feel like Destructor is actually probably one of the biggest cases for that, because like even before I was comfortable enough even calling you a fucking lolcow, he was calling you a lolcow like towards like the beginning of this entire schism to begin with. And I'm pretty sure the only reason why you thought that Destructor was on your side is probably because he was a lot more polite with you than I really ever planned on being, which I guess is definitely kind of somewhat of a misstep on my part, but at this point we're already too far along for me to really give a shit. But yeah, it seems like being nice to Shadow Raven seems to be one of the two ways for you to actually be able to get on his good side. The other way is, of course, by at least pretending to be anti-gay and anti-trans and flinging around slurs as if they're bullets in a fucking shooting range. If you want more evidence on that, look at these two videos at these specific timestamps for more information. And I just feel like I should mention, of fucking course he's not going to have any problems with someone like myself or Xanderhall or anything along those lines, maybe other than like maybe some schisms that Xanderhall got into, but that's neither here nor there. But like, of course Destructor isn't going to give a shit about what I'm doing because, again, what I'm doing isn't fucking grooming. It's not bad. He's not anti-gay as far as I'm aware of. He just doesn't give a shit. He cares about actual problems, unlike you.
Oh, but he's not saying anything about what these guys are doing now, but yet he wants to correct how I was confronting them. I find that very ironic, but I also find it pathetic. Oh, but of course, Destructor is not gonna say anything now. He's never gonna say anything because he's just as big of a scumbag as these guys are.
Jesus Christ, what a fucking loser. I think we're just gonna end it off right here, because at least from what I've heard from Destructor, he apparently goes on this weird rant about him for like the next like 3 or so minutes. It's unbelievably sad, but we're just gonna end it off right there. How long is the video already? It's probably already long enough. Yeah, exactly.
So get your face ready.
How's it going, everybody? Lefty Leafy here. So, yeah, I'm talking about Shadow Raven Studios again. Trust me, don't worry, I have a video that's more of an update on a different drama that's going to be coming out soon. I get it, talking about Shadow Raven Studios is very fucking exhausting, but hey, I actually genuinely, as per usual, actually have an excuse to talk about him because there's been some developments that happened, and of course we're going to be getting into at least, well, as of recording this, his second most recent actual video that isn't like, you know, a podcast video of his, which apparently in his most recent podcast episode, he has decided to now go after Destructor for whatever reason, which I might take a look at some point in the near future. Just depends on whether or not if the archives just decide to go out of their way to re-upload it onto YouTube. I personally don't really care, but I feel like taking a look at it because it seems silly enough. In terms of some updates, I ended up announcing that I was releasing the last video on Shadow Raven Studios, obviously about like a couple hours before the video was actually planned to go out, and funnily enough, that ended up causing a certain individual that I talked about within said last video, Sneedclave Anonymous, to immediately hit me up and unblock me and start asking for yet another bargain, apparently. Which his main bargain was apparently like trying to, I guess, like state that he apparently could get me into an interview with someone by the name of Chris Avalone, which, honestly, I have no idea who in the hell Chris Avalone is. I personally don't really care who the guy is, but apparently his only way of convincing me of this entire thing, which apparently, you know, the main thing was, you get an interview with Chris Avalone and you stop making videos, you know, updating people on just how scummy we are, which is, you know, kind of basically what it was. Obviously, I wasn't buying it because I didn't give a shit who Chris Avalone actually was, to which, of course, after realizing that that ultimately failed, he pretty much just tried to berate me a little bit more. I stopped taking him seriously again, and then he blocked me before I could give him my own ultimatum. So, of course, Sneedclave Anonymous, as well as anybody else that's still part of this Confederation, I'm gonna give you my own ultimatum here, okay? You want me to stop making videos on you? Then stop being morons, okay? Stop publicly throwing fucking temper tantrums, alright? The main reason why I even started documenting your ass is because you genuinely had very stupid points against a fucking up-and-coming Fallout mod, all because apparently the developer was trans. And the only reason why this still keeps on going is because you and your goons keep on acting like morons. You apparently have an entire plan to supposedly strike down both myself and Xanderhall after you're done dealing with the archive channels, and apparently you think that, like, making these weak-ass deals will apparently make me stop. So if you want us to stop documenting you, stop being so stupid. Stop publicly being idiots. Literally, the main reason why some of the sagas on my channel end is because, well, the people that I talk about in said sagas know when to cut their losses and shut up. Like, all you have to do is just sit down, shut up, and move along your merry fucking way. I'm not telling you to, like, stop making content on whatever fucking platforms that you're on. I'm just saying to just leave me the fuck out of it. Stop fucking going after me. Stop going after Ashfall, dude. Stop going after any associates of mine, whether loosely or directly connected to me. And this can all just kind of fucking end. It's really that simple. But of course I know, since these guys honestly have less integrity in their pinky finger than they have collectively, I know that this won't actually get through to them because they genuinely prefer making themselves look like idiots. I guess they have like some sort of humiliation fetish at this point. I really have absolutely no idea. That's basically about it in terms of Sneedclave Anonymous. Now, of course, onto some updates about, well, wouldn't you believe it, the main titular, I guess you could call him antagonist of this entire story, which is, of course, Shadow Raven Studios himself. I ended up getting it, well, I would say I was the one that ended up getting into contact, but it was actually the guy himself who ended up getting into contact with me. And no, I'm not talking about Shadow Raven Studios, I'm talking about this guy that goes by the name of Lurks in Forums, who was brought up, I think, like, either in the second or third video in this entire saga, I can't exactly remember, but apparently he was the one who ended up infiltrating Shadow Raven's Discord server and ended up coming across like the weird like server section that had like Skyrim women's like close-up pictures of feet and armpits, which I actually managed to get first-hand pictures of that myself. I honestly don't know how to feel about the fact that those pictures actually do in fact exist. I'm not going to show them for obvious fucking reasons, but just know that yes, they do in fact exist, or at least they did in fact exist, before Shadow Raven Studios decided to nuke his old Discord server. And the thing is that once again, he did in fact confirm that these were in fact screenshots from his own Discord server, at least on his old account before he nuked it. I'm assuming that his Discord server ended up vanishing along the same time that his other socials ended up vanishing, so we'll just go along with that timeline. But there was a couple of other screenshots that, oddly enough, weren't actually shown off by Shadow Raven Studios, and that was, of course, apparently a certain member within Shadow Raven's Discord server apparently comparing their own partner to being a real-life lolly, and then Shadow Raven coming in and apparently being very on board with that, and even going as far as to say, and I quote, "Shit, maybe I should have come to Ichiru when I was looking for a foreign bride." As if we needed more evidence that this dude was a fucking lolicon, but whatever. At least we now have evidence showing that there's no way he didn't know what lolicon actually was. Like, dude, it was on your fucking server before you nuked it. And of course, I might as well just use your own words against you here, Shadow Raven, but
Screenshots don't lie, buddy.
So, yeah, and I can already see you on your way to try and, like, hand-wave away a lot of this stuff, so there you go. Honestly, the longer and longer the story goes and the more vehement you get in terms of trying to hide all this shit, the more and more information ends up coming out, and I just find that to be genuinely fucking hilarious at this point. But anyways, that rounds off all of the major updates in terms of what has been going on. Now we're going to be getting into what is supposedly Shadow Raven's like most recent non-podcast video, which is of course a video titled "Why I Walked Away from the Gaming Scene Culture War." And of course within this video he, well, completely kind of backsteps on that entire thing, but, well, who cares at this point. Okay, I know this has absolutely nothing to do with, like, any points that are going to be brought up in this video, but I just feel like I should mention right now. But you can literally see the fucking watermarks of the background that he's using. Like, this is a level of laziness I didn't even think was possible. He couldn't even remove a watermark, which I guess is kind of par for the course because, well, neither could All Out Monty when it came to creating those weird AI hit pieces, so... yeah, why am I even surprised by this?
Hi there, I'm Mike, also known as Shadow Raven. It's been a while since I made a video. The reason I'm releasing this is to let everyone know my future plans, how I've been doing, and the changes I made during my absence. As I mentioned in an earlier video, I decided to step down from the culture war in the gaming scene since there are enough channels who are covering these topics.
Well, I mean, maybe he stepped away from, like, the broader culture war, but of course, as we already know, he is still trying to get involved with this entire weird-ass, like, I guess, like, smaller war, if you will, that's currently going on. I wouldn't exactly call it much of a war, more or less just, like, I don't know, one group of gaggle fucks that apparently think that it's going to go well for them, and then... well, I assume that they're probably just going to be surprised when the primed explosives that they decide to open miraculously blows their fucking heads to Timbuktu, but I mean, like, I really have absolutely no idea what it is that they're even talking about anymore. Like, these people are just... they're just insane. There's really not much else to say. They're just fucking insane.
But I want to put more of my focus into helping the DLC Fund website to grow, and put all of my attention and focus into the modding scene since the woke mob is trying to corrupt and take over the different modding communities out there.
Okay, if I'm gonna give you some genuine advice here, Shadow Raven, which I know you're not gonna listen to because you fucking hate me, but once again, I'm still just gonna give this to you. Please, for the love of God, learn what the fuck audio balancing is. Like, this is all-out Monty levels of fucking audio balancing. Like, the music is overpowering your shitty-ass voice. Like, this is fucking annoying as hell.
There are different creator groups out there who are doing good enough of alerting everyone that the game's being tainted by these different woke DEI companies and individuals responsible for attempting to corrupt and destroy the gaming scene. And I just want to say my thanks to all of you who are doing an excellent job.
By the way, just for reference, pretty much everyone except for maybe the SBI detected, like, group are pretty much all a bunch of weird gaggle fucks that hate the existence of, like, gay people or just, like, women existing in video games at all. Especially with that tweet. Like, there's, like, games in there that are apparently being considered as woke that honestly shouldn't even be considered woke in the first place. Like, what the fuck? Like, one of them is a fucking gator game. What's woke about a fucking alligator game? What's wrong with people?
But there is one man I want to give a shout out to, and that is Woke and Anti-Woke Detected.
For those of you who don't remember who this guy was, it is this greasy man from, well, what was originally the last video about this entire situation before Shadow Raven decided to rear his ugly fucking head again. Nah, I didn't make a mistake actually somewhat shouting this guy out to him. At least he'll have a friend for once.
I took notice of his channel on YouTube along with his hard work and dedication to watching my back when I used to be on YouTube. If it's possible, I would love to have a chat with him in a one-on-one podcast interview on Discord. Also, since he is supporting the DLC Fund website.
Also, I just feel like pointing this out right now, and this is something that my friend Game Penguin pointed out in the live stream where we also covered this video, but honestly, this fucking, like, logo that is shown off right here in this thumbnail is infinitely better than the actual DLC Fun logo. How does that even happen, Raven? You're getting your fucking logo is getting mogged by some rando.
The reason I stopped arguing and fighting with these SJWs is because I'm tired of these tourists who are trying to take over the gaming scene. I could even say the same thing regarding the Nexus Mods fanboy tourists who are trying to take over the different modding groups and the modding scene.
Once again, I just have to bring this up, but he is just straight up lying about no longer fighting against people because, once again, refer to all the videos that I've already made beforehand and the fact that he is still having fucking, like, cope sessions on his fucking Rumble account talking about Destructor for whatever reason.
Regardless, I'm still going to speak out against what they are trying to do in the modding scene. Regardless of how tiresome this battle is becoming, I will never bend the knee to these infiltrators who are trying to take over everything.
Listen, I just feel like I might as well mention this right now. The simple fact that you decided to nuke not just your YouTube, but also your fucking Twitter account, also decided to block me on said Twitter account before you nuked it, and are currently mainly hiding away with all of your opinions on fucking Rumble, that completely disproves this entire point of you supposedly not wanting to bend the knee. That is quite literally, I believe by definition, you bending the knee to, you know, as like a concession to everybody. You fucked off and left, at least for a short amount of time before you decided to come back and threaten to strike us. Like, well, what else do I have to say?
The gaming scene aspect of things hasn't been doing very well ever since the woke mob corrupted it. There are many different DEI games that have released by these DEI companies and developers, but these games are flopping left and right.
Do I even have to bring up the multitude of reasons as to why bringing up Concord as like an example of a quote woke game that you know failed really is? Again, Actman made an entire really good video about Concord, to be completely honest, and even to an extent I made my own video talking about like why Concord ultimately failed, and I may have missed like a couple of things, like for example the fact that Sony barely even marketed this game to begin with, which obviously didn't exactly help its case at all, but like, again, Concord isn't a game that failed because it went woke. It was a game that failed because it tried way too hard to be like Overwatch and Destiny 2 combined, and it fucking failed in both regards.
This is the idea and vision we want to bring into DLC Fun.
I feel like I might as well just kind of bring up something. This has absolutely nothing to do with, like, most of the video here, but, like, if you pay attention to, like, the enemy health bars and whatnot, you'll see, like, shit like Antifa Soldier or Antifa Soy Boy or something like that. He quite literally added a goddamn mod that changed the name of the raiders to, like, Antifa members. Do I even have to point out how fucking psychotic that is?
We give mod authors and users total freedom away from politics, and we don't force anything onto the members and users of the DLC Fun website.
You don't have to worry about getting into petty little drama fights, unlike Nexus mods, which they are most famous for starting petty little drama wars over the littlest things.
You know, I feel like, once again, I feel like I don't even have to say anything here. Just him saying this is just unbelievably, bitterly fucking ironic. Because once you believe it, this entire fucking situation is nothing more than a petty little drama fight that you started.
That is the most important thing we do not do on here on the DLC Fun website. We are here simply for the thrills of the DEI-free games and the fun of using the mods on here. There is no reason for any mod hosting website to start petty little drama fights over nothing.
Yeah, and there's no reason why idiots like you should start petty little drama fights like this over just minor critique of shitty evidence within a video. I'm pretty sure the only reason why I'm living in your head rent-free is because I fucking trolled you with a bait account that one time, and that was literally about it. Once again, just watch this video at this particular timestamp if you want to know more information on that.
I do have a major update I need to announce to my audience. I am no longer on YouTube and the X social platforms, and I have no intentions of coming back to either social platforms.
Well, that's a fucking lie, considering that, once again, you created a brand new channel on YouTube, you're still going insane on that new YouTube channel, and, once again, Operation Dark Vengeance exists. Do I even have to explain why you're making this shit up? But of course, all of this is on Rumble, and the people on Rumble all collectively have like one brain cell that's already decaying to begin with, so I mean, like, they're obviously just gonna believe this anyways.
As for the story on what happened with the stalker, YouTube is one of the platforms this incident took place. At first, I only received a community warning regarding the community post I made against the stalker. But later on, I also received a community guideline strike.
I feel like I should just bring this up right now with him bringing up the community guideline strikes. With both of these screenshots right here, he is showing off only the first of the community guideline strikes that he apparently received, and not the second one that caused him to nuke everything. I wonder why!
Due to an unlisted video response I made against the stalker. As a result of this, I decided to close my video channel on YouTube, and to also delete my Google AdSense account.
You know, this is something that completely fucks me up even to this day, but like, you quite literally decided to throw away a 1,000, like an over 1,000 subscriber YouTube channel that had full monetization on it, also that way you could run away to a website where there's significantly less people that are not only just there, but also significantly less people even following you on said website. You threw away 1,000 fans for 70 fucking morons.
I know some of you are concerned with the new direction I'm going, and I'm here to tell everyone you have nothing to worry about.
Man, I just absolutely love it that he's only showing off like 2 comments from the same person. God, this is just so sad. It's so fucking sad.
However, I'm not going back to what I used to do in my video work. I also noticed since my disappearance on YouTube, there are creators who are spreading misinformation regarding the website I represent and also about me.
Oh hey, look, it's my video about DLC Fun. Now, if you don't feel like watching through an entire 12-minute long deep dive into the DLC Fun website, let me just give you kind of like the somewhat cliff notes of this. I basically went through about like maybe 10 to 12 mods within that video, but in total, in like the actual recording, I went through about like maybe 20 to 30 different mods across like 5 different games on the DLC Fun website, and cross-referenced a lot of them, any existence of those same exact mods on Nexus mods. And, well, wouldn't you believe it, but I ended up finding out that DLC Fun is basically just a group of 50 individuals, because there's only like 50 registered, quote, mod authors on DLC Fun, despite there being over like hundreds of thousands of mods on the website, which should already just be fishy enough. But like, you'll notice if you look onto the website, it's one person mass uploading several different mods with no credit being given to the original creators, mind you. And of course, you can pretty much find damn near almost every single mod on Nexus mods created by the original authors posted there. But what makes it even scummier is that you can actually make money on that website for every 1,000 or so downloads, which is why you'll see one person upload like, you know, up to like maybe 3,000 mods for like one game, just so that way they can make a quick buck. So, yeah, I just felt like giving you the somewhat cliff notes. Again, you can watch the video for yourself if you want the more deep dive into everything and the better explanations, but that's the long and short of what's going on DLC Fun.
The creators making such videos spreading misinformation are most likely Nexus Mods fanboys. For now, I'm going to say don't pay any mind to their misinformation.
Guys, don't pay any mind to my video that could quite literally expose this guy as literally shilling for a website that's profiting from thievery. Guys, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Jesus Christ, this is like, dude, you cannot make this level of desperation up.
The things they are saying about me and the DLC Fun website are not true. Well, later on down the road, I will be responding to these creators accordingly.
And I will be awaiting for that response with bated breath because, let's be honest here, I can only imagine just how fucking terrible it's going to be.
You don't want to see me rage.
How's it going, everybody? The Dealer here. So yes, once again we have yet another update on Shadow Raven Studios, and at this point I genuinely can't even be sure if it's going to be the last time that we ever actually hear from him again. For all intents and purposes, consider this the end of Season 2. I know, surprisingly short-lived, especially compared to the previous season, if you will, but of course, much like the previous season, it of course went out with a little bit of a bang, a failed attempt, and of course, a bit of a word from somewhat of a friend of this channel, if you will. So of course, if you haven't been following along with the recent developments of the SRS saga, there of course have been a bunch of different things happening. Everything from All Out Monty nuking both iterations of the How to Exist Pranks and Tutorials channel, probably nuking the second one thinking that that would somehow manage to retroactively remove what is shown off within a live stream VOD as well as a live stream clip somehow. I don't even know what his thought process must have been, but whatever. On top of that, too, of course, you know, false copyright strikes, several new archive channels now existing because of the first one getting struck down. And on top of that, too, Shadow Raven Studios deciding to rear his ugly head again and basically act like a fucking moron in every single regard. But of course, nothing could possibly top the most recent stupidity that he tried to pull, which was of course all started because he ended up making, well, one particular community post, like, I don't know how long ago at this point, probably a couple days ago, I'd say, where he states, "Enjoy your consequences for being dicks. Coming soon, a real smash hit piece. It's not a video either. Ashfall Dude or the Dude is going to be devastated. All of you who are involved in Sandy Circle have had your chances to wise up and grow a brain, which you didn't do. I saved this for last." Now, of course, you would think that this would be like something absolutely devastating, something absolutely major. Well, to put it very simply, it was a failed blackmail attempt against Ashfall Dude. What exactly was the blackmail, you may ask? Well, according to a DM conversation between Shadow Raven and Ashfall Dude, apparently the entire threat was, and I quote this, was basically he was going to have somebody upload them. The them in question, I should mention, is basically just Ashfall Dude's mods. So, there's some clarification there. Onto various websites without giving any credit for them, and the main way that this would stop is if Ashfall Dude was to go to me, my friend Domino, my friend Rince, and possibly even to Xanderhall, and ask us to remove any videos regarding Shadow Raven Studios, which of course for me would have been an absolutely metric fuck ton of videos at this point because of how much documentation I've had to do on him, but like, it's just so unbelievably sad that this is like the level that he's willing to go towards, which I guess is really no surprise considering, once again, his DLC Fun website is quite literally purely dedicated to stealing mods and re-uploading them without giving credit, while also making money off of said stolen mods, which is just absolutely fantastic. Once again, I've made an entire video going through DLC Fun. You can check it out if you want. But of course, this entire plan ultimately did not work because, well, once you believe it, and of course, you know, I'll have like an entire conversation that I've had with Ashfall Dude in regards to this entire failed blackmail attempt. But for all intents and purposes, he doesn't really give a shit. Like, he doesn't really care. Like, what? The worst that's gonna happen is that it's just gonna be uploaded onto shady websites that don't have that much reach without, like, any credit being given to him. Like, what exactly is the harm that's actually being done there? Now, of course, another funny thing that ultimately happened is, of course, the deletion of Shadow Raven's entire new YouTube account that he had. And this ended up happening, I don't know if this was the cause of it, but I ended up making a community post where it had absolutely nothing to do with Shadow Raven, mind you. It had to do with my second most recent video, at least as of, like, you know, probably making this video and uploading it. It was, you know, in regards to the Cinny Bear controversy. I'm not going to elaborate too much on that one because that's not the video for that. But, of course, Mr. Raven here decided to whip out this delightful little comment here underneath my community post about that, where he states, "I would be very careful. I'm not the only creator you're royally pissing off. All of this F-slur shit you're pulling on the internet is going to end up blowing up in your face. Lurks and Forms and the Northern Sage, the archive guys, is asking for the same thing to happen to them as well." And of course, I don't even really hit him with all too much. I just simply hit him with this. And of course, it's mainly a callback to the fact that even now he, well, at least while he still had this channel, mind you, he would basically, you know, hide myself and any of my friends from being able to actually comment on anything on his channel, which is just absolutely hilarious. But I hit him with this. Notice how I don't hide your comments? It's called freedom of speech, and that freedom allows you to act like a self-righteous moron in my comments so that you can be a public circus act. You do not scare me in the slightest. And I was saying that with full confidence, to put it very simply. I do not care about this man. None of his threats genuinely scare me. Any threats of his, I have my own workarounds because I've been around and have witnessed shit like this happening on YouTube more times than you can even fucking count, so I know at least how to circumvent false strikes and false claims. I know how to deal with this shit because I've seen it happen, and of course it at least works with 90% efficacy. However, since it still hasn't happened yet, and since the archive channels still exist, I'm willing to bet that they've already given up on this, realizing that it's basically just going to be a Hydra attempt because the moment that they strike down one, two more are just going to appear in its place. Shortly after I made this comment towards him, well, wouldn't you believe it, but the channel no longer exists. Like, at all. His most recent Shadow Raven Studios account no longer exists, and the only, like, possible evidence of its existence is somebody else having yoinked the old @ for it. Gloriously hilarious. So once again, Shadow Raven has completely fucked off, alongside with his friend All Out Monty, basically leaving as well. Probably being even smarter than Shadow Raven, mind you, because he ended up leaving much sooner than anybody else. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is at least like the final episode in the Shadow Raven saga. At least until Shadow Raven decides to upload supposedly his response to my DLC Fun video, which I can only anticipate that is going to be its own clown show, but whatever. Just consider this at least the ending for at least Season 2 for now, and a bonus video possibly coming out at some point in the near future, who knows. But what I think is probably the funniest part is, of course, just Ashfall Dude's entire response to a lot of this stuff, and of course his overall feelings on the entire situation as a whole, which I will of course have it play out for you right now. It's going to be pretty lengthy, but be sure to at least sit around for as much of it as you possibly can. I'm not going to force you to stay here, but if you're willing to hear him out, then by all means go right ahead. But anyways, I'm going to take you over to, well, myself and Ashfall Dude. So, obviously, the entire conversation with our dear friend, if you will, Shadow Raven.
No, don't give him that pleasure. No, you're being too nice.
But, like, his most recent attempted plan was to, like, threaten you by threatening to, like, release the Ashfall mod or something like that onto just various websites. My guess is that one of them is probably going to be his DLC Fun website, because that's already kind of what it's known for, but...
Not the Ashfall mod itself, but various mods I've released onto Nexus over my time as a modder. This includes some weapons that were going to be included in Ashfall. Stuff like the Plasma Saw, Wakazashi, I hope I'm saying that right. There's also other mods like a very bad player home mod that I'm not really proud of, and also a modder's resource for ass jerky. If you've seen the Fallout TV show, you know what that's about.
Alright.
And also a memorial mod I made to a voice actor who recently passed away, the storyteller, as most people know him.
Right.
Jason Cameron. I hope I'm saying that right. And to make a long story short, he essentially attempted to quote-unquote blackmail me, as I've seen other people try to describe it, with my own mods, saying he'll upload them to other websites without crediting me, which, like, oh no, he's uploading them to websites with far less reach and full of people who I wouldn't otherwise want, you know, to be associated with. So it's like, oh well. I mean, there's not much I can really do about it, you know? It's still frustrating, though, to have this guy still be on my case.
Yeah.
And also to have, like... Because I guarantee you, I was a lot more frustrated and angry about this yesterday when I was talking to Domino about this whole thing, but, like, I know for a fact that there are going to be people from, like, the Asphalt devs who are going to turn around and find some way to justify this. Because, like, this is a bit of a pattern I've noticed. Because of how weirdly tribalistic the New Vegas modding community is specifically, they're willing to sort of give a pass to, like, what people who they would otherwise describe as objectively terrible. Because, oh, well, when you get to know them, they're actually really nice, you know, that kind of thing. Every project has an example of someone like this that they can think of, I guarantee it. But anyway.
That is just silly as hell.
The whole situation's very disappointing because, one... For me, it's been over a year since this whole... Like, I know this whole saga started... for you, it started, like, a few months back. For me, this is, depending on what you consider the true start of this stupid controversy, it's been over a year since all of this started. Jesus. And to think that it went from internal development drama about a trailer that I still stand by the fact that I don't think that trailer should have been made. I think we wasted too much time on a trailer that wasn't really a trailer. It was more like a showcase, honestly. And the fact that
I would think that that's even too generous because it was showcasing nothing but the fucking black abyss.
Yes, it was. But yeah, the fact that I had someone yell slurs at me over that whole situation, and then later when I finally got rid of one of the devs responsible for that trailer, the very next day, Shadow Raven comes out with his video calling the mod woke, and it's just the fact that only until you and Xanderhall started making your videos on this guy that people started to realize that, oh wait, this guy's kind of, you know, screwed up in the head a little bit. I'm just sort of glad that things are at least beginning to make sense, you know? Yeah. I'm starting to see less people, like, telling me to go kill myself whenever I show up my face in a different Fallout server, and more people going, like, hey man, sorry about the whole deal with Shadow Raven, you know?
Yeah. So I guess, like, more or less with this whole attempted, like, blackmail thing, you just, in reality, you just don't care.
That's a way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, I care to a certain extent because, like, nobody likes having their stuff stolen and re-uploaded onto other websites.
Yeah, obviously.
And also there's a conspiratorial part of me that is connecting this to a recent situation going on with a different mod project. I'm not going to go too deep into it here because it's hard to explain it when I can't name drop these particular projects, especially since one of the mods is so young that it doesn't even have an actual name, like, period.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there was a whole thing where, like, a different mod project thought that we were stealing their ideas, but they wanted one of their writers to, like, look over our documents to, like, verify to make sure that we weren't making anything too similar to their mod project. I'm pretty sure that same person who wanted to look over our documents is also working with Shadow Raven Studios, because I'm pretty sure the alias Mysterious Stranger is one of their alt accounts. Like, I'm almost certain about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, I even pointed out to you in a stream that, like, hey, this one particular guy is somebody I recognize, and he's in Shadow Raven's DMs. That's weird. And that same guy is a writer for this other mod project that's accusing us of stealing from them. Depending on who you ask, with or without dark magic involved. So
I still can't get over that, man.
It's actual schizophrenia. And you want to know the weird thing? Like, I've only ever noticed this within the New Vegas space, but, like, every so often you do encounter somebody who's, like, mixing weird internet drama with, like, the supernatural. I've mentioned this a couple of times, but, like, I've had people tell me that Urias, or however you say his name, is, like, a dead guy, and he's, like, basically a poltergeist that's haunting Nexus mods.
Oh my
and they
god.
It's ridiculous. It's like Urias is unironically the Herobrine of New Vegas, and it's like I don't know how.
I mean, I
people
was
believe
saying like this Urias guy was like some sort of like boogeyman or something like that.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a joke. Why do I keep on predicting this shit?
I don't know what his deal is because apparently I'm friends with a guy. I don't know. It's a whole weird thing. So like,
I mean, supposedly I'm like his biggest supporter or something like that, according to some
they're
sources,
saying
which
that
is ridiculous.
I had somebody claim that I was like a Urias supporter because a different guy, Zapshock, the lead behind Nuevo Mexico, which I hope that mod's doing okay, man. I was really excited for that project in so many ways. Nuevo Mexico has been, and I'll fully admit this, it was one of the reasons, like that particular mod project helped keep us in the Asphalt team motivated to work on our mod, right? Like, we had all kinds of support from Nuevo Mexico. They were some of the nicest people in the community. And so I really hope that project's going well, because if you're looking into them, they're not looking so hot right now, I'll be honest with you.
I mean, here's hoping for the best for them. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah. So, going back on topic, but like, you have these people who think that Zapshock, again, one of the nicest people in the community, has been nothing but polite to me, has been nothing but kind and supportive. One of the few people who reached out to me to make sure I wasn't doing, one of the few people that reached out to make sure I was doing okay when Shadow Raven's video dropped and all that, you know? Genuinely one of the nicest people in the New Vegas modding community. But then you also have, like, weirdos claiming that he's Urias who may or may not exist, who may or may not have made a really like, I've heard all sorts of shit about the mod Urias may or may not have made, which is how everybody likes to say it, because no one can give me a clear answer on this sort of thing. But, like, as far as I've been told, the most definitive thing that can be said about it is that it's basically a really edgy mod made back in, like, 2014 by, like, a middle schooler who, again, really... It's like Crack Life. I don't know if you played...
I've seen videos of it. I've seen, like, Jolly's videos on it. It's goofy as hell.
Yeah, very goofy, but, like, with this particular mod, it's also edgy, lots of racism, lots of very heavy topics kind of thrown
So
around as
basically,
jokes.
like, their main thing is literally just like, oh, this Urias guy, he made, like, a mod in 2014 when he was in middle school. Like, at that point, who the hell cares?
Imagine, like, just a scenario, right, where 2014 Ash made, like, the guy who would consistently listen to, like, the Pink Guy and Pink Season albums back to back, someone from, like, back then doing that kind of stuff. Imagine the kind of edgy stuff I would have come out with if I knew how to make mods for New Vegas. I'm pretty sure, you know, they would be kind of tasteless and not really something I would really approve of today. So
exactly. It's just so goofy in my personal opinion. Like, these guys are trying their damnedest, and it just doesn't really work. And especially, like, literally this morning, like, just this morning, fucking Shadow Raven nuked his entire channel after I basically called him out for not, you know, applying free speech equally. Like, I was, I'll probably read it out in the video or something like that, so people kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's so fucking goofy. Like, whenever they ultimately fail or make themselves look extremely silly, they just fuck off.
I know, but then they always come back. It's like the world's worst boomerang.
It's like William Afton, but with less charisma.
Who's William Afton?
The guy in, like, Five Nights at Freddy's that keeps on, like, coming back from the dead.
I hope you can understand, like, after interacting with Shadow Raven for however long it's been, you understand why I kind of wanted to distance myself from the Ashwell team, because, like, I just want to work on mods. I don't want to sit around and complain about pronouns all day to a bunch of people who are constantly getting mad at that one lady, Kathleen Kennedy, you know? I know I'm saying a lot of similar stuff to yesterday, but, like, legitimately, it's like my brain cannot actually process how somebody who is an adult, who presumably has to pay their own bills, can care about this sort of stuff to this extent.
I mean,
you know?
What makes it even worse is that allegedly, and this is a very huge allegedly because I still don't believe this even myself, but, like, Shadow Raven claims that he's also married while also doing this shit. He's supposedly a married man in his 30s living in Canada that's obsessed over American politics and pronouns. Like, this is the kind of terminally online goober that we're dealing with.
Yeah, it's depressing because in a weird way, he reminds me of like what I was like back in like middle school when I was obsessed with like anti-SJW stuff, like no bullshit. I think who were the other guys, like the Quartering, and there was one more guy I keep forgetting, but like this like whole echo chamber that this guy's clearly in, where he's just constantly making himself angry by presumably watching these like anti-SJW or anti-woke content creators. It's kind of making him act, to put it nicely, irrationally. Like, no adult should be acting like this under any circumstance, you know? It's just, it's man-childish.
Yeah. It really is just disappointing, but at the exact same time it is... I mean, at least for me, it's just kind of funny to watch these guys flail around wildly as, like, everything burns around them, but, like... It is very... even for me, some of this stuff is also just annoying, constantly having to deal with them. Just, like, even as just, like, a lighter basis. Like, when the guy suddenly came back, I was like, God damn it, I thought it was over! Why are you back?!
Imagine what it's like to like deal with that like on a daily basis. Like I'm not gonna like try to make this like a competition, but like
I'm not trying to make it a competition either, but I can only imagine what it's like dealing with goobers like this on a fucking daily basis.
Yeah, dude, it is emotionally exhausting because like
I mean, having to deal with them on like even just like a bi-weekly basis is already tiring enough. I can only imagine daily.
Dude, it is like soul sucking because like imagine like trying to like work on a mod, right? For I don't know what other games you play besides like Ultra Killer Terraria, right? But like imagine trying to make a mod for those, but like anytime you try to talk to other people like, oh hey, what should we do about this area? What should we do about that? All anybody wants to talk about is pronouns. And it's like the weird thing is, it's like the way they talk about it's so nebulous, you know? It's not just because for me it's like it's just words, you know? Sticks and stones and all that. Don't like worry about it, you know? So what if somebody has like words in their bio? Just like there's bigger things in the world than like culture war shit, you know?
There's like worse things to worry about. Like there's like people getting harassed over like garbage shit like pronouns and fucking rainbows and whatnot. Like an entire game engine is currently under fire because they like decide to make a joking tweet because somebody said that like having a fucking pre-built engine apparently means that you're woke or whatever, which is really stupid. And apparently now that game engine is currently being harassed by a bunch of anti-woke losers because they can't stand the sight of colors. Like it's just ridiculous.
I forget the exact phrase I'm trying to think of, but like there's this idea that people like to use this sort of nebulously defined politics to sort of try and sort of push out anything that is considered unagreed upon. That's not a word, I know, but like that's the best I can come up with. Something that I think you and Xanderhall helped with, to what extent it's too early to tell. I think because of Shadowraven and his weird outburst against Ashfall, and then later on your videos covering Shadowraven, you kind of preemptively stuffed out the fires of like another Star Wars situation.
Oh no.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, when the Disney Star Wars movies came out, it was very easy for the entire fandom to be hijacked by this like narrative of like, oh, Disney's ran by feminists and they're ruining the thing we like, you know? And I think, in a way, and again, how true this is, it's too early to tell in my opinion. I would like to have more hindsight on this before I make any statements, but, you know, I'd like to think that you helped stop that same kind of culture from, like, bleeding into the modding community a little bit. Because prior to videos
I can only hope I even have that kind of influence.
Well, like, here's the thing, right? A lot of New Vegas modders, they tend to see subscriber count as like a sign of merit, you know, like a sign of legitimacy from what I've noticed. So like the fact that anybody with like what, nearly 2,000 subscribers, congratulations on that, by the way.
I'm not even at 2,000 yet. I'm still at like 1.9.
You might be by the time this video's out. Who knows?
I mean, if that is what happens, then that would scare the hell out of me. But
yeah. Let's see.
All right.
Where was I going with this? Oh, right. Yeah, it did genuinely feel like for a while that prior to your videos coming out, you and Xander Hall, it felt like a lot of people were just on not Xander Hall, Shadow Raven's side by default, because it just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like with New Vegas modders, they are so invested into drama and rumor. It's like a high school, you know? They're so thoroughly invested in this sort of crap that they're willing to just buy whatever narrative Shadow Raven came up with, rather than actually, learn about the mod itself. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
It is so bizarre. And it's like, I've even had other developers, like, the whole thing with the stolen submarine that, like, Sneedclave Anonymous and Shadow Raven have been showing off. I know for a fact who made that submarine. He used to be part of the team before all this shit happened, and, but, like, to this day, there are still debates within the dev team, from what I hear, about whether or not the submarine is stolen from Turbo Squid or not.
Jesus.
And it's...
I mean, the thing is that what I find really weird, if I remember correctly from the screenshot, I'll have to go back into my first video and see, but if I remember correctly from, like, the first screenshot, that Turbo Squid thing, it was labeled as, like, a free asset anyway, so who the hell would care?
No, and it's like, if you look up the username in the bottom corner of that screenshot, I forget how you spell it, but, like, if you look up the bottom corner of the screenshot, you can see, like, the original username there. If you look up that username and go to their account, there is a submarine there, but it's very clearly not the submarine model Ashfall is using. So clearly the screenshot's fake, but even if you show people that, they'll come up with, like, excuses like, oh, maybe they changed the pictures or something like that. Like, no, dude.
What purpose would they have in doing that, then?
I don't know.
I don't even think the person who made the model even gives a shit about any of this.
It's ridiculous. You know the phrase, like, the simplest solution is what's that?
Occam's razor.
Is it Occam's razor?
The simplest solution is the simplest solution is usually the correct one. Yeah, that's Occam's razor.
Okay, yeah. Point is, like, thank you for bringing up that quote, but it's like, you would think that people would remember Occam's razor and go, oh, this Shadow Raven guy clearly has his own agenda. Maybe he has some reason to lie about the Ashfall mod. I don't know, but, like, no, that it's until prior to Xanderhall making his video, especially, people were really on the big on the idea that Shadow Raven Studios was, like, speaking truth to power. A real rebel.
Yeah.
Point is, right. While I have the chance, thank you, and if Xanderhall is watching, or someone who watches him, thank you to Xanderhall, too, for effectively making my life a lot easier by, because, like, prior to all this, I mentioned this to Domino, too, but, like, I was trying to, like, make my own video talking about, like, hey, this whole controversy is dumb. At the time, I'm, like, the project lead, so I, would have been able to, like, speak with some authority of, like, hey, look, this whole controversy is dumb. Clearly, this guy's talking out of his ass. He hasn't shown any evidence. But, like, any of the other people who would have been able to back me up decided not to, because, what was it that, I don't want to accidentally say his name on here, but, like, one of the Ashfall devs mentioned, like, oh, well, they weren't sure whether or not, like, it would lead to more publicity for the mod if you called out Shadow Raven or not, or some bullshit like that,
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, the feeling that, like, the people you've worked with, and in some cases became friends with for the last 2 years, throw you under the bus because of pronouns that may or may not even exist in the mod, because apparently pronouns mean something other than, like, words on a screen to these people. It's disappointing.
It's silly, it's all I gotta say.
Yeah. And the fact that over a year later, for me at least, people are still fighting this, like, imaginary war against wokeness. It feels like an existential threat in a weird way. Like, I feel like instead of Lovecraftian horror, we need a phrase for, like, Lovecraftian stupidity.
Exactly. It's I don't even know how to explain it, man.
Like, if this was a fictional character, I would accuse the writer of being a hack who wanted a conservative strawman to beat at over and over again because their like dad was like a Republican and they haven't gotten over that or something
I know,
like that.
it's so silly that it feels like a parody, and I can completely understand where Xanderhall is coming from when he says, like, you know, this feels like an overly elaborate troll, but, like, all of the evidence points to this guy just actually being this deranged.
It's like, I almost empathize with, like, I know this is going to be, like, the dumbest comparison I could possibly make, given the circumstances, but, like, you know, in Fallout 4, they make a big deal about, like, synths, and how they're, like, I feel like Shadow Raven Studios is, like, an AI trained on, like, the most hateful, vile, venomous crap on the internet, and he's, like, let loose on the internet, going into these weird, like, culture war fights with people, because, like, it still amazes me that you could work on a mod with your own free time, not expecting any pay, not expecting any kind of, like, real reward, right? Not even expecting a whole lot of people to download your mod, you know? You're working in a niche for a niche within a niche in the Fallout community, you know? And, of course, you still get, like, over a year at this point, of, like, constant backlash, because it's political. But no one's going to tell you what exactly it's political about. You're just supposed to notice it yourself. I don't know. Maybe this is just me playing games like Disco Elysium a lot, where politics is and, like, faction stuff is, like, at the forefront of these kind of games, you know, like Fallout.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I just don't see a reason to care so much about it, you know?
I mean, me neither, and I play, like, a wide variety of games that have, like, different messages and whatnot at the end of the day, and I just personally don't really care. The kinds of people who whine about wokeness in video games, like, it just comes across to me as just, like, people whining about absolutely nothing.
It's, like, childish, and honestly, it's, like, I don't know, here's the thing, because I know at least somebody is going to listen to this and call me a hypocrite, or whatever, for whatever reason, right? But, like, if you don't like whatever not politics even, we're not even talking about real politics, but, like, if you genuinely believe that, like, Ashfall, or Nuevo Mexico, or, like, Fallout London are all woke or whatever, like, we're not charging you money to play these mods. We're not even asking for your time. We're just doing this for the sake of doing it. It's passion. And I don't think... And, like, I get that a lot of people, you know, they have their own different opinions, but, like, at that point, if something just doesn't... if you don't agree with something's politics, just don't play it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
invest so much time and energy into giving, like, so much of your life to hating on something that you're not even going to play. Does that make any sense? Like, Ash Mod, when Shadow Raven talked about it, didn't have a trailer. We didn't really have any public presence beyond our Discord server and the Twitter, right? But, like, of course, Shadow Raven... I'm gonna say this right now because I forgot to say it in a couple of times actually, but I'm pretty sure the whole reason this started is because when, like, the day after I removed All Out Monty, one of our writers, I say that with big quotation marks, writers, for reasons you'll probably know. Let's see here. I kicked him out, and, like, the morning after I remove him from Ashfall, that Shadow Raven video came out. And I'm pretty sure those two events are connected because, like, you'll have to find the Shadow Raven video again, but I'm pretty sure throughout
I think I still have it on my computer. Let me check.
And, you know, it's like, I'm not sure I'm gonna finally hear the end of it, but I am hearing less of, you know, somebody going to my DMs telling me to kill myself, and more just people, like, I even had one person, I won't name her, but, like, I had one person go to me and say, hey, we want to make... me and my friends want to make our own, like, version of Fallout Hawaii. We were wondering if you'd be interested in working on that. It's like, it's interesting. It's a very interesting situation because, like, in an effort to, like, keep politics out of modding, as Shadow Raven and a few others have said, it's almost made the New Vegas modding community feel more politically charged, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, nobody gave a crap about, like, pronouns or gender before Shadow Raven made his video. But then after that, it was all anybody could talk about, and it was infuriating. And like, I get that.
I can really only imagine, man.
I get what the argument's going to be made here. It's like, oh, well, we have our freedom of speech, don't we? It's like, I get that. But, like, you would think that if your whole deal is that you don't like talking about politics and you don't want these pronouns shoved in your face, you would therefore not shove your complaints about pronouns into other people's faces. But yeah, I think that's about everything I have to say. It's just, like, this whole situation is frustrating, and, you know... Oh, I guess before I forget to mention this, I've looked over the one chat you have for like talking about these your rogues gallery of idiots, right?
Yeah.
Long story short, that Sneedclave Anonymous guy has been on our backs for being members of the Sneedclave for like years now.
Damn.
And if the winds are a changin', as people will say for these kind of guys, I just hope that eventually, you know, people will slowly realize that, hey, maybe the dude was right about Sneedclave Anonymous having been talking out of his ass for these years. Maybe we shouldn't have sat there and went, well, the news used anonymous sources all the time. Maybe we should listen to this guy because he's also anonymous. You know, that sort of bullcrap. Yeah, there's a silver lining to all this. Like, I am genuinely appreciative of how, like, lately at least, people have started to kind of realize that, hey, maybe we should have done more to question Shadow Raven, Sneedclave Anonymous, etc., etc.
I mean, at least there's progress being made.
Yeah.
That's really all that
nature
matters
is
at this
rebalancing
point.
itself. Pootises are now frolicking across the two forts or whatever, I don't know. Oh, goodness.
But of course, yeah, that's basically the entire conversation, to put it very simply, in his overall thoughts on the entire situation. Overall, he, once again, doesn't really care. He finds this entire situation to just be really tiresome, which I honestly can't really blame him for. Even having to deal with these goobers on, like, a somewhat semi-weekly basis, it's already exhausting enough to begin with. But the fact that this shit is even still happening somewhat is genuinely tiresome. But at least there's one good thing that comes from this entire situation, and that is, of course, somehow, I guess we're managing to get through to the Fallout New Vegas modding community and actually realizing that, well, Shadow Raven Studios and his entire little Confederacy, well, is just full of complete fucking nonsense. Since the fucking beginning. I'm surprised that it quite literally took two channels with different levels of reach to actually cause that to happen, but I'm glad that it happened nonetheless. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, and I also have channel memberships if you feel like throwing me a $5. I'll probably try to do something with the channel memberships at some point. I promise I'll have something set up. But yeah, anyways, guys, this has been Sanity, and have yourselves a nice day.